Never memory foam. Custom tailored for greater comfort based on your size, weight, and primary sleeping positions. European quality and components at Made in America prices. Solvent European Sleep Systems, Inwood and Lovers in Dallas. Learn more at sovn.com.
660 AM The Answer. 660 AMTheAnswer.com. The Wells Report is on 660 AM The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. So, USA Freedom Act has been passed. It reins in federal government spying to a degree. Is it better? Yeah. Is it enough? I don't think so. More about that in just a couple of seconds. First, Todd in Louisville. Thanks for joining us, Todd. Welcome to the Wells Report.
Thanks, JD. Touching on the Freedom Act conversation, I'm not entirely familiar with all of the details of it, but at a high level, what I understand is it's mass collection of phone records and perhaps other related content.
Now, are you talking about the Freedom Act, or are you talking about the Patriot Act that was preceding the Freedom Act?
Well, it's my understanding that the Freedom Act is supposed to rein in data collection by the government. My concern is with the bad guys already showing their faces here in the U.S. like they did in Garland. Do we want to rein in law enforcement's ability to quickly collect maybe pertinent data to zero in on the bad guys?
Yes. Yes, we do, because we want to. First of all, the data collection that's been done does not translate to terrorist arrests. Okay, the FBI was asked in an open court hearing or an open congressional hearing to draw direct lines between this program, the NSA bulk collection of our phone records, and any worthwhile enterprise that was anti-terrorist, and they couldn't think of anything. There just aren't any uses for this data except by virtue, it's just domestic spying. That's all it is. So first of all, nothing that happened during the Patriot Act actually mattered when it came to NSA bulk collection of our phone records, which is usually the case. When you try to find out what everybody's thinking, what everybody's saying under every possible circumstance, and gosh knows, now's the time to do it because you got a smartphone, I got a smartphone, we got computers, we talk to each other all the time on them. You know, when you start thinking about that stuff, this is perfect. It is an NSA operator's dream to be able to have all of our personal biographical information, our intellectual property, all available to them simply by touching a few buttons. The problem with it is that there is a better way to do things than this, more effective. And if you take away these training wheels, and if you actually recognize what's necessary to do to be able to fight the war on terror, you'll actually fight the war on terror.
I got you.
See what I mean?
I got you.
See what I mean?
I do. I was just thinking from the perspective of if most people's lives is fairly boring, there's not much really
Well, yeah, exactly. Now,
to worry about. But
let me give you a better example. Okay. Remember the big hoorah over stem cells?
yes,
Okay. So everybody says we got to have embryonic stem cells. Well, they're chasing the left side. The left of the American political spectrum is chasing, embryonic stem cells, because what that does is that gives a purpose for unrelegated or unregulated abortion in the United States. It gives a reason to do all that besides just eugenics and just thinning the herd and blah, 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 blah. President Bush, George W. Bush, said no. So what ended up happening? Science immediately started looking for other ways to come up with stem cells, and they found them. They found several different ways of doing it, none of which would have happened if we had tied ourselves to embryonic stem cells.
I follow you.
See what I mean? Same story with the Patriot Act, with this bulk collection. As long as it's there, all those creative geniuses in NSA, CIA, FBI, all those people are going to just essentially allow the computers to do their work when they need to be just good old-fashioned cops. This is the Wells Report.
This is an important notice to all taxpayers. There's great news for those who owe the IRS back taxes. Due to the financial hardship many are facing in the decline of the U.S. economy, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easy to settle delinquent tax problems through a currently offered federal relief program called the Fresh Start Initiative. Those who qualify for this program will be able to settle their delinquent tax problem, stop any collection efforts, and in some cases save thousands of dollars, or qualify for other favorable programs. To get this critical information and to see if you qualify, call the experts at 911 Tax Relief, 800-375-9792. If you owe the IRS back taxes and want to get them off your back, then now is your time. Get a fresh start today and possibly save thousands of dollars. For this free information and to see if you qualify, call our relief hotline at 800-375-9792. 800-375-9792. That's 800-375-9792.
There's nothing like foundations in the springtime. Oh, it's a time of change. Hey, Mark Davis from my friends at Abacus Foundation Repair. And with drought and then moisture and then cold and then warm temperatures, your foundations are moving and grooving. You got cracks in the sheetrock and doors that are sticking and all kinds of problems. You want someone who's going to solve them reliably. Call my friends at Abacus Foundation Repair. They've done stuff for me, and you will love how they put somebody on site for your entire foundation repair. They're the only people with Millennium composite pilings. You're going to get a warranty that you can hand down to other homeowners. It's peace of mind and security for your foundation repair. 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000 or abacusfoundationrepair.com. Don't be one of those homeowners that says, oh, I wish I'd called a better company. Call the best company right now. Abacus Foundation Repair, 972-406-9000, 972-406-9000, or Abacus, A-B-A-C-U-S, abacusfoundationrepair.com.
Okay, most of you know that I was diagnosed last year with stage 3 throat cancer. This is Michael Medved. Fortunately, I had some great advice and previously had purchased both life insurance and long-term care insurance. I'm glad I did because I wouldn't be able to buy them today. I worked with Rick Nathanson, a nationally recognized expert in life insurance and long-term care insurance. I put my trust and confidence in Rick, and I'm glad that I did. Even the most uncertain times of my treatment, I had the peace of mind of knowing that the plans Rick implemented would have protected my family. Don't take a chance. Your insurance needs require the advice of someone you trust. I'm glad I relied on Rick Nathanson, and so should you. Don't let an unexpected change in your health put your family or loved ones at risk. I hope my situation can be a wake-up call for my listeners. Be prepared. Take steps to protect your family. Call Rick today at 866-742-5582. That's 866-742-5582. 866-742-5582. Or on the web at ricknathanson.com.
Look, honey, this ad says we can get a new air conditioning unit for only $1,500.
That's incredible. Let's get it now.
There you go. Enjoy.
Wait, what?
You didn't think we'd install it for that price, did you?
There you go, folks. In this business, if it sounds too good to be true, well, then it probably is. I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning, and if you're tired of crazy gimmicks, give us a call. Our techs don't work on commission, and we don't do high-pressure sales. Right now, with Carrier's Cool Cash, you can save over $3,500 on a new Infinity system. Plus, you might also qualify for an additional $1,000 off from your utility provider. So call the other guys first, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437 or ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Got an idea. How about making this the summer of you doing better in the stock market? How does that happen? First step is you show up at the New Venture on Wall Street seminars. They're June 19th and 20th in Addison and Fort Worth. Both locations taken care of, and they'll take care of you at nvows.com. nvows.com. New Venture on Wall Street. Pastor David Mitchell's operation, where he imparts wisdom, strategies, some simple things you can do. They taught me how to get in there and just do some things and not others. Timing is everything. When to buy, when to sell, what to do, what not to do. Get a second income stream, maybe retire earlier. It is fantastic wisdom. The seminars are great. They're fun. They're upbeat. And they're coming up June 19th and 20th in Addison and in Fort Worth. Following weekend in Tyler. To get all the information you need, go to 877-907-TRADE. 877-907-TRADE. nvows.com. New Venture on Wall Street. Do better in the stock market this summer and for the rest of your life. nvows.com. 877-907-TRADE.
660 AM, The Answer. If it's important to you, we're talking about it right now on the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells, 866-660-5759. What we need to do is we need to get back to good old-fashioned police work in this nation. What we have to do is we have to solve a bunch of really stupid moves perpetrated on we, the people of the United States, by the moronic media. The moronic media. You know, this foolishness about racial profiling is going to get people killed, okay? You know, that we can't, quote-unquote, racially profile is really stupid, okay? You know, by virtue of the fact that you cannot racially profile, what does that mean? What that means is that you have to go out in dragnet style and arrest everyone so nobody feels like they're being put upon. See, you have to search little old granny lady just as you have to search a 24-year-old Muslim Arab male that's standing there sweating in, the frozen air conditioning of an airport somewhere. You have to search both people, or CARE, the Council on American Islamic Relations, will say, hey, you're racially profiling us. And the mainstream moronic media will say, you know what? They're racially profiling and it's terrible. Oh! And everyone will say, no, we're not racially profiling here. Look, we've just thrown Granny's dress over her head so we can see what's, there. Oh! 866-660-5759. Mac in Moody. Welcome to the Wells Report, my friend.
Hey, JD, listen, I got a real bad cold, so my great radio voice is not with me. So, anyway,
you sound like $1 million, Mike.
I just walked in when that last caller, I missed his name. I'd like to remind him, even with all these billions and billions of calls that the NSA and everybody's been collected, he knew about the Tsarnaev brothers. They did nothing. They knew about Nidal Hassan. For years, they did nothing. I have been told the two shooters in Garland or would-be shooters, and I was told that they knew when they left Phoenix and had a pretty good idea where they were going.
Yep.
They did nothing. This was finished off by a really good shot off-duty traffic cop. And it occurred to me today, it is to the point that the American people need protection from their government more than we do from the terrorists.
That's what polling information has been telling us for years, Mike. Look, it's not the job of the federal government to protect you. It's your job. If you've got sheepdog bones in your body, go out and be a sheepdog. Just go out and do it. You know what? It's what you have to do. It's part of your life now. No, you didn't choose it. Yes, it's being imposed on you. But if you were a lifeguard because you wanted to keep people from drowning, you don't get to stay in the lifeguard tower and swing the rope around your fingers anymore. No, what you do is you go about your business every single day, strapped, and knowing what to do if the wolf shows up. If the wolf shows up. It is a matter of pride among most police officers in the United States that they don't have to draw their weapons on duty, that they spend years, if not their entire career, not having to pull their weapons on duty. That's what you want to be. That's what you want to do. But you want to train to the point where, if need be, the weapon leaps to your hand as if it was called upon by somebody else, and you do the right thing to save somebody's can. That's your job. What's the alternative if you don't do that job? What if you don't? The government will. How will they do it? They'll get whoever's available. The TSA, for example, a perfect example of that. Oh my God, we have to have just unbelievably thick security in every airport in America. What are we going to do? Well, we're just going to put a casting call out there and we'll try to get the best minorities we possibly can. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. Get the best minorities we possibly can to do that, and then we'll fill with non-minorities as we see fit. But because it's political, because it's the federal government, we don't want to get the best people. We want to get the people that conform to the best possible racial dynamic. And once again, that's okay. But all I can tell you is that when this came down, I applied for the TSA. I guarantee you that I can't guarantee it, but I'm very sure that I would have found the guns, the bombs, the knives, and so on and so forth. I'm sure of it. And the people that they tested the other day, missing 96% of the time, didn't. Those are the people that the government is going to get to protect you. Do you think you're protected then? By the way, have you noticed that nobody in TSA carries weapons? Huh. How are they going to protect you? Are they going to shriek? Don't touch that citizen. I've got a whistle. I've got a walkie-talkie, and I'm not afraid to use it. This is where we find ourselves. Now, you can either trust the all-knowing, all-seeing, power elite-driven government, or you can trust yourself. If you're around me, you can trust me. If you know somebody who's a sheepdog, Joel, Robert, TJ, Laura, Dennis, Fred, if you know people like that, no problem. Jonathan, Vince, you know those guys? You're covered. You don't have to do a thing. Just stand behind them. And watch what happens. But here's the problem. That's not all of us. We are at the brink in our lives where we can have a republic that is terrorism proof. But it's only going to be because you and I do something about it, not because the government does, because the government can't do anything about it. They can't do it. TSA proves it. Good people. I don't want people that are working with TSA to feel like I'm stomping on them. But the simple case of the matter is that you guys in those shirts doing that terribly important duty blew it 95% of the time. Get freaking better. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me carp on what you do and get all upset and say, I'm never going to listen to that SOB again. Get better. Get better at what you do. Get better at what you do. It's a call to action. Be a sheepdog. If in doubt, push the button. Believe me, they need the practice. Rand Paul made his point. The sands are shifting in Washington's debate over the balance between national security and privacy. Rand Paul stood up virtually on his own and said the Fourth Amendment matters. We need to pay attention to the Fourth Amendment. We do. We need to force our government to get back to the Constitution of the United States or they're going to take over. That's just the way it's going to be. They're just going to take over. We won't have any choice. We'll be the people that used to live in the United States of America. Rand Paul stands up, and therein lies the solution. Rand Paul stands up, changes the debate. Changes the debate. Arguably is the guy that stopped the U.S. Patriot Act from being renewed again. Who is he? He's somebody that is outside the party politic of the Republican Party. He is a libertarian, if more than anything else. Libertarians have huge political problems. That's why they don't get elected as libertarians. But the Constitution and following it is not a libertarian problem. It's a strength. Am I telling you to go out there and elect more libertarians? No. What I'm telling you to do is elect more Tea Party conservatives. More Tea Party conservatives every chance you get. Vote for somebody you know. Don't vote for a stranger. Vote for somebody. Go to Tea Party meetings. Vote for people you see there. At all levels of government. Louisville made a huge mistake by not electing John Garena as their mayor. It was a mistake. So now Louisville is going to meander and puddle along, and stupid leftist, I'll pat your back, you pat mine. One leftist hand washes the other leftist hand. That's what they're going to be doing for the next 3 or 4 years. It's stupid and it's a waste of time, and the people of Louisville will probably wake up at some point. I don't know that John Garena is ever going to run again. But he's your neighbor, and you know him. He's a Tea Party guy. And we have to have Americans in office now. We have to elect Americans now. We have to stop electing soft, middle-of-the-road European socialists. Are post-9/11 politics shifting? CNN asks that question. Yes, they are. Just in time. But in 2016, you have Tea Party work to do, my friend. We've been doing a great job with it, and we have been rewarded. We've been rewarded with a freer, more liberty-inspired country, and we need to keep doing it. If you believe that $18.5 trillion is too much national debt, the only political faction in the United States that wanted to do anything about it were Tea Party conservatives. If you believe that the borders of the United States should be controlled and we should have an agile, intelligent, smart immigration system that doesn't just allow anybody that'll vote for a Democrat into the country, but the all-stars from other countries that want to come and live a better life, there's only one political faction that's done that. Tea Party conservatives. Only one. Tea Party conservatives, period. If you believe that the Constitution of the United States should apply to this generation of Americans and the ones to come, there's only one political faction in the United States that believes that. Tea Party conservatives. These are your neighbors. They are not slick politicians. They make huge mistakes. Ben Carson is the perfect example. The great Ben Carson calls the President of the United States a psychopath. Is it because he's just a nasty, ridiculous partisan Republican trying to embarrass the president? No. He is perhaps one of the best neurosurgeons that ever walked on the planet. He knows what he's looking at. And oh, by the way, President Obama's a psychopath. There are more of them than you think. The people that change the rules in order to get what they want. That's what they are. That's what they look like. Most of the time, they're benign. Sometimes they walk into a family dwelling and kill everybody there while they eat pizza. That's not President Obama. But if President Obama doesn't get what he wants, he changes the rules so he can get what he wants. Same story. The Tea Party is our salvation in this country. The Tea Party, conservative movement. Become a part of it. For the sake of your children, for the sake of America. This is the Wells Report.
Hi, Jon-David.
Howdy, folks. Crazy Gun Dealer here, and I want you to know that nobody wants your gun business more than I do. To prove it this week, I have Taurus 709 Slim pistols. Normal dealer wholesale was $286. Right now, I've got them for you for only $199. That's right, $199. Plus, I'll still give you free CHO classes, a free lifetime warranty, and a free range membership. Folks, this is in-store only, and while they last, so get here quick. That's the Crazy Gun Dealer in Alvarado, just 30 minutes south of Dallas or 20 minutes south of Fort Worth. Keep up with our crazy offers. Text CRAZY to 75309. Visit us at crazygundealer.com or give us a call at 855-329-GUNS. And finally, folks, I want you to remember, if I don't already have the best gun deal anywhere, I'll beat any price, anywhere, gun to gun, anytime, because nobody wants your business more than I do.
All offers and promotions subject to change or restrictions. See store for complete details.
According to Forbes magazine, Saudi Arabia's Prince Al-Walid, with over $21 billion, is the 35th richest person in the world. Being a Saudi prince, you just naturally assume he inherited his money, which I'm sure is partly true. However, he made a lot of his money by investing in banking and financial services, hotels and hotel management companies, mass media, entertainment, retail, agriculture, petrochemicals, aviation technology, and real estate all over the world. He's making money off about anything people buy anywhere. You may not be a Saudi prince, but you can make money on about anything people buy almost anywhere by getting your free blue card. The Blue Card is a loyalty rewards card that not only gets you discounts on purchases, but up to 5% cash back on what you buy. If you refer someone to the Blue Card, you could earn money on what they buy. And if you refer the Blue Card to a business, you could earn on the purchases of anyone who uses the Blue Card in their store or almost anywhere.
To get your free Blue Card, go to bluecardshopping.com. That's bluecardshopping.com. bluecardshopping.com.
This is an announcement for all people who want to take a risk-free challenge to whiten their teeth in 5 minutes. By calling now, you can whiten your teeth in 5 minutes using clinically proven power swabs. This risk-free challenge is for people whose smile has been yellowed by coffee, tea, red wine, or smoking. The Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is available by responding to this advertisement. If lines are busy, try again. Because the Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is exclusive, it's not available in drugstores. Power Swabs was formulated by Dr. Martin Ginniger and whitens teeth with a patented tooth detergent and whitening agent. It's so effective, we challenge you to try it for 5 minutes to see how white your smile could be. Get it risk-free. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037. Transform your smile into a wow, you look great smile. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
It takes a lot of courage to face your own death, but I'm glad I finally did. See, I was putting off getting life insurance to protect my family, even though I knew it was important. Then my neighbor's husband died. I watched her struggle emotionally and financially. It really made me face reality. If my husband died, how would I pay the mortgage, the car payments, or keep up the life the kids and I had? I realized I needed to get us life insurance right away. So I called AIG Direct. In less than 5 minutes, I had a quote. I was shocked at how affordable it is. Just $14 a month for $250,000 of term life coverage. I feel so much better knowing my family has protection.
Call AIG Direct right now for a free no-obligation quote. The call takes less than 5 minutes, and you can save up to 70%. Call now, 1-800-500-0983. That's 1-800-500-0983. 1-800-500-0983.
With CudaSign, paperless e-signing is a no-brainer for any business that requires legally binding signatures fast. That's because CudaSign offers everything you should expect from an electronic signature solution for just $1 per month. CudaSign cuts document turnaround time as much as 90%, thanks in part to its #1 rated mobile app. And CudaSign's secure cloud stores documents for on-demand tracking and retrieval, saving you even more time and money. Don't think twice. Get Kudasign now for just $1 per month. Go to kudasign.com.
If you're one of the millions of Americans who suffers from back pain, there's new hope for relief without the use of over-the-counter pain pills. Australian Dream, makers of the popular arthritis cream, now offers a back pain cream. It's real medicine that goes on fast and provides effective relief for simple backache. Australian Dream Back Pain Cream has no odor, doesn't burn, and isn't greasy. And it's backed by the Empty Jar Guarantee. Love it or send back the empty jar for a full refund. Find Australian Dream Back Pain Cream now at Walgreens.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. Now, by popular demand, The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
How are you doing? My name is Jon-David Wells. I want to talk to you for a couple of minutes about Cure International. Cure International is a great organization that works on a particular deformity of young kids. It's called clubfoot. It's a congenital deformity that severely twists the foot downward and inward, making walking difficult or impossible. It's completely curable. The folks at Cure International want to help the children of Haiti that suffer from this deformity, and they'd like your help. 1 out of every 750 children born in Haiti suffers from clubfoot. How can you help? A $400 donation will completely fund the total cost of treatment for one infant. That allows them to have straight feet by the time they're ready to learn how to walk. You can find out more by going to 660amtheanswer.com to donate, or you can call 855-216-0400. But if you donate $2,800 to Cure International, you can qualify for the business benefactor. That's right. We'll give you an advertising campaign on 660 AM The Answer absolutely free. If you'd like, I will voice that campaign for you. All you got to do is call my dear friend Mike Krejci at 214-561-2164. That's 214-561-2164 to get started with your advertising campaign. $2,800 saves 7 kids from clubfoot. Why do I have a personal stake in this? I'll tell you next time we talk about Cure International on the Wells Report here on 660 AM The Answer.
The Mark Davis Show. Mark Davis Show.
What's your big issue as you examine the 2016 presidential field? The economy, fighting terror, honoring the Constitution, all vital. But if you think immigration isn't getting enough play, here comes Ann Coulter with her new book, Adios, America. She'll be with us 8:05 a.m. on our Wednesday show. Also a chat with Congressman Jim Hensarling, any overnight news we can tackle, all between 7 and 10.
The Mark Davis Show. Weekday mornings at 7, right before Mike Gallagher at 10 on 660 AM, The Answer.
Summer is here, and many of you will be experiencing air conditioning issues. The Good Contractors List is here to protect you from the air conditioning companies that upsell and take advantage of homeowners when their systems break down. We've hand-selected the most honest and affordable air conditioning companies in DFW, and we back their work with our own $10,000 guarantee. They've all agreed to offer a free second opinion if you're being told you need to replace your equipment. Find guaranteed contractors from every field at thegoodcontractorslist.com.
Only at the Good Contractors List.
Hi, I'm John Hill, founder of the Good Contractors List. And I'm here to warn you about a coming invasion.
Invasion of the Storm Chasers.
Yep, it's storm season, the time when everyone and their brother thinks they can be a contractor, and thousands of out-of-towners swarm the DFW area to capitalize on damages caused by storms. You don't ever have to fall prey to a storm chaser. Go to thegoodcontractorslist.com and find local home services backed by our $10,000 guarantee.
Only at the Good Contractors List.
In national financial news, a limited number of 2015 U.S. Silver Eagle dollars are now available at an introductory price too low to reveal on the radio. In a moment, we'll provide the toll-free number to call. The Silver Eagle is the largest and purest U.S. silver dollar ever struck. 1 ounce of pure silver, and is the only silver coin guaranteed by the U.S. government for its weight and purity. Over the years, the Silver Eagle has been one of the world's most popular and widely collected silver coins. From time to time, the U.S. Mint has even suspended production during periods of exceptionally high demand. Demand for the 2015 Silver Eagle is expected to be intense, especially at this shockingly low introductory price, forcing a strict limit of just 10 per household. To claim a share of these Silver Eagles and receive a free free collector's guide. Interested individuals are encouraged to call now. 1-800-500-6706. 1-800-500-6706. 1-800-500-6706.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Baltus Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. President Obama has signed the just-passed USA Freedom Act. The bill reshapes the NSA's phone records program that had expired Sunday night. The FBI and Boston police shot and killed a man who was under 24-hour surveillance by the FBI's terror task force. 26-year-old Osama Rahim reportedly lunged at them with a knife. This woman fears for her safety and that of her neighbors.
The children aren't safe anymore. They can't go anywhere. So it's sad. It's really sad situation what's happening in Boston, everywhere.
Authorities wanted to question Rahim about terror-related information. Californians are learning how to save water as the impact of the drought grows worse.
A new study out of UC Davis says California's drought will have an economic impact of $2.7 billion. Farmers will let 564,000 acres of land lay fallow this year. Monday, mandatory water restrictions officially went into effect around the state.
Fox Radio's Jessica Rosenthal. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer.
Hi, this is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. I'd like for you to join me on my talk show this weekend. What I do is teach people how to go the natural, organic route. I stir up trouble, too, because I throw out some things that a lot of people just don't think are correct. You know what? We have a lot of experience to back up what we recommend. Have healthier gardens and more fun gardening. Join me this and every weekend.
Join Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Hey, Mike Krejci here, sales manager of 660 a.m. The Answer. And it's that time of year again, the time when we support one of our favorite charities, Cure International. These are the folks that help heal sick children in countries all around the world. Now, how can you help? Well, you can go to 660amtheanswer.com and donate to this awesome cause. They'd certainly appreciate anything that you can give. But if you are a business owner, we are offering you a special program. It's called the Business Benefactor. What you do is donate $2,800 to Cure International, and in exchange, you'll get an advertising campaign on 660 AM The Answer to run during the next 90 days absolutely free. So you'll be helping your business and Cure International all at the same time. It's really a win-win. We have a terrific team that writes and produces the commercials for you, and we get it on the air. It's really easy. Now, we only offer the Business Benefactor program for this week only. So call me today to get started. My number is 214-561-2164. That's 214-561-2164. One more time, 214-561-2164. Thank you.
Hey, does the idea of having your home sold on time without hassle and for top dollar, does that seem unrealistic to you? Hey, Dallas, it's your friend Sean Hannity, one real estate agent to sell your home guaranteed. That's Josh DeShong of Josh DeShong Real Estate at Keller Williams. Josh averages hundreds of local, national, and international buyers every single week. Now, that means your home sells on time at a price that you agreed to, guaranteed, or Josh will buy it. Josh's clients voted, and both D Magazine and Texas Monthly ranked him as the best real estate agent in Dallas. Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only recommends Josh in DFW. And if I lived in Dallas and needed my home sold, guess what? I'd call Josh DeShong, and you should too. Call Josh now at 972-325-6644 or go online at getsold.net. That's 972-325-6644 or getsold.net and start packing.
Okay, most of you know that I was diagnosed last year with stage 3 throat cancer. This is Michael Medved. Fortunately, I had some great advice and previously had purchased both life insurance and long-term care insurance. I'm glad I did because I wouldn't be able to buy them today. I worked with Rick Nathanson, a nationally recognized expert in life insurance and long-term care insurance. I put my trust and confidence in Rick, and I'm glad that I did. Even the most uncertain times of my treatment, I had the peace of mind of knowing that the plans Rick implemented would have protected my family. Don't take a chance. Your insurance needs require the advice of someone you trust. I'm glad I relied on Rick Nathanson, and so should you. Don't let an unexpected change in your health put your family or loved ones at risk. I hope my situation can be a wake-up call for my listeners. Be prepared. Take steps to protect your family. Call Rick today at 866-742-5582. That's 866-742-5582. 866-742-5582. or on the web at ricknathanson.com.
People who can afford a LASIK procedure sure are lucky. Imagine being able to throw away your contacts and glasses.
Imagine waking up tomorrow with 20/20 vision. Too bad everyone can't afford LASIK. Well, guess what? There's a company that agrees with you. The LASIK Vision Institute is now offering dramatically low prices on high-quality LASIK to make it affordable for everyone. That means you get the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology for a fraction of what others charge. And if you call right now, we'll schedule a free appointment so you can discover if LASIK is right for you. Results may vary. Call 1-800-700-2629. Even better, if you're one of the first 100 callers, ask about an extra 20% discount off our already low-cost services. We've already performed over 1 million procedures. Let us help you. Discover how you can get the quality LASIK experience you deserve at a fraction of what others charge. For your free appointment, call 1-800-700-2629. 1-800-700-2629.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Got an idea. How about making this the summer of you doing better in the stock market? How does that happen? First step is you show up at the New Venture on Wall Street seminars. They're June 19th and 20th in Addison and Fort Worth. Both locations taken care of, and they'll take care of you at nvows.com. nvows.com. New Venture on Wall Street. Pastor David Mitchell's operation, where he imparts wisdom, strategies, some simple things you can do. They taught me how to get in there and just do some things and not others. Timing is everything. When to buy, when to sell, what to do, what not to do. Get a second income stream, maybe retire earlier. It is fantastic wisdom. The seminars are great. They're fun. They're upbeat. And they're coming up June 19th and 20th in Addison and in Fort Worth. Following weekend in Tyler. To get all the information you need, go to 877-907-TRADE. 877-907-TRADE. nvows.com. New Venture on Wall Street. Do better in the stock market this summer and for the rest of your life. nvows.com. 877-907-TRADE.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. How are you doing? Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. We have all become uncomfortably aware of the NSA bulk data collection scandal. It is terrible, it is awful, it is rotten, it is un-American, and it is happening. It has been curtailed a bit. The USA Freedom Act passing today, it's on its way to President Obama. He will sign it into law. It's a little better, but it's not as good as it needs to be. We need to send more Tea Party conservatives to Washington, but then again, we need to send more Tea Party conservatives to Austin and to City Hall and to your HOA. We need to start electing people we know. We need to start electing people we know. If you don't know them, don't vote for them. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to come to you and sit down and say, "Hi, I'm Rick Perry, and I'd like you to get to know me." That's not going to happen. You're going to have to do your due diligence. This weekend, for example, give you a great example. Are we going to talk to the Santorum people about the breakfast? We're not going to do that. They've got a breakfast Saturday morning. We'll put more details up on the Wells Report page of 660 AM The Answer. Okay? Rick Santorum's going to do a breakfast in Dallas, I believe. And what we're going to do is it'll cost you $40. Go get to, it's in Roanoke. I think it is. They need money. They need money. So even if you have to crash the party, take $40 and go get to know Rick Santorum. Go get to know the candidate you want to vote for. Spend time paying attention to what they say. It's the future of the nation we're talking about. And it's slipping through our fingers. So like I said at the beginning of this hour, NSA bulk collection, we're all over that. But did you know what the FBI was doing? Any idea about what the FBI was doing? Well, they've been operating a small air force with scores of low-flying planes across the country carrying video and cell phone surveillance technology. And they know, with all due respect, I love the FBI, greatest law enforcement agency in the world. And the reason that I know that they're the greatest law enforcement agency in the world is because they're really, really lousy at breaking the law. They keep getting caught. Have you noticed that? Whenever you hear about the FBI, it's because one of the rare things that they've done where they didn't do it right. That tells you something about the organization. It's all about integrity. It's all about doing the right thing. It's character. It's integrity. It's awesome. But they've been operating a small Air Force. They knew it was the wrong thing to do because they hid the Air Force behind fictitious companies that are actually fronts for the United States government. What do you do? How do you get around this? How do you get around the FBI using fictitious companies to operate a fleet of what are essentially spy drones? What you do is you have a contractor do it. Hello? Anyway, the plane surveillance equipment is generally used without judges' approval. The FBI said the flights are used for specific ongoing investigations. In a recent 30-day period, the agency flew above more than 30 cities in 11 states across the country, according to the Associated Press. Aerial surveillance represents a changing frontier for law enforcement, providing what the government maintains as an important tool in criminal, terrorism, or intelligence probes. But the program raises questions about whether there should be updated policies protecting civil liberties as new technologies pose intrusive opportunities for government spying. Do you remember us talking about Stingray? We talked about Stingray probably about 6 months before anybody else was talking about Stingray, because we do our homework here. Stingray is basically a small device that'll fit into a briefcase that spoofs your telephone into thinking it's hitting another cell tower. And every time your telephone hits a cell tower, everything in your telephone downloads. Everything. So suddenly, the FBI flying over your car gets an exact duplicate of all the data on your cell phone. It's worse. It's worse. In the United States, you cannot fly below 1,500 feet unless you're landing. Okay? The photography equipment, the video surveillance equipment on these aircraft can read your wristwatch. Easily. That's the unclassified version. What if they're carrying the old Tomcat F-14 system? How good was that system, you ask? Go ahead and ask. Thank you. That system was so good you could read a newspaper at 40 miles. That's the unclassified part. Hello? So they do this again with no warrants. They don't do anything about it. And yeah, we've got to update the law. U.S. law enforcement officials confirmed for the first time the wide-scale use of aircraft, which the Associated Press traced to at least 13 fake companies, such as FVX Research, KQM Aviation, NBR Aviation, PXW Services. Even basic aspects of the program are withheld from the public in censored versions of official reports from Justice Department's Inspector General. The FBI's aviation program is not secret, spokesman Christopher Allen said in a statement. It's not, huh? Did you know anything about the FBI's surveillance Air Force until today? Me neither. I spent a lot of time with the FBI. I had no idea what they were doing. Oh, it's not secret. It's just that no one knows anything about it. But it's not secret. Christopher, really? Specific aircraft and their capabilities are protected for operational security purposes, which means they don't want you to know what kind of scanners they have. You know, they have those scanners that can read every license plate on a police car, right? They work in the air, too. Facial recognition? Yep. Allen added that the FBI planes are not equipped, designed, or used for bulk collection activities or mass surveillance. I wish I could believe them. If it wasn't for Edward Snowden, we would have had no idea what NSA was doing. None. This is what happens when you operate outside the purvey of being transparent and honest with the American people. This is what happens. This is what happens when you are not open and above board with the American people. The FBI, the greatest federal law enforcement agency in the history of the human endeavor, says that the FBI planes are not equipped, designed, or used for bulk collection activities or mass surveillance, and we can't believe a word he says. Can't do it. Some of the aircraft can be equipped with technology that can identify thousands of people below through cell phones they carry, even if they're not making a call or even in public. Officials said the practice, which mimics cell towers and gets phones to reveal basic subscriber information, is rare. No, it's not. It's being used by every police agency in the country, including the FBI, from airplanes. Ray in Plano, welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
Hey, I just wanted to clarify that when a cell phone hits a tower, it does not download all the information off the cell phone. It simply links that cell phone to the tower to make calls. It hands off. That's all it does.
No, it doesn't. No, you're misinformed.
Oh, well, you know what? I've been in telecommunications in wireless for 30 years.
Okay, well, Ray, all I can tell you is that I've been no, you're misinformed, Ray, because I've gone from one end of the Stingray to the other. Okay, it downloads your information. That's what it does.
It does not do that.
Okay, Ray. Okay, Ray, fine. You've been in telecommunications for 30 years. Great.
Yes, sir.
I've been on the air for 42.
And
I've been an investigative journalist for.
Not connected to telecommunications. I was.
Ray, I have heard other things. Now, who do you want to?
What I admired about you, and I still do.
What?
I really do believe that your heart is in the right place.
It is.
But I believe your ego gets in the way of your heart.
Well, you know what? That's a good thing for anybody to say that's totally indefensible, because all I'm willing to do is stand up and tell people what I know.
Well,
here's what I know. No. Here's what I know. Okay? I have done exhaustive research on Stingray. It can download your telephone.
It could, but it doesn't.
It does. Ray. Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
You've been watching this government operate, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about the government all the way back to the post 9/11 world, 2001. All right?
Yes.
If there is a capability to surveil anyone in the United States, if there is a way, are these government agencies going to use it, yes or no?
Perhaps they would.
The answer is yes, Ray.
Okay.
So here's the way this works. Do I believe Do I believe that they grab this information? Yes, I do. Do I believe that they look at it? No, they don't. I believe that what they do is they dump it into the federal data hub. But this telephone knows who you are. All of this information gets traced back. All your contacts, everything on your telephone downloads.
I guarantee you that does not occur.
I guarantee you that it does, Ray. Now, I will accede to you. You're a good man. You spend time with me on this broadcast, and I appreciate every time you do it, Ray. But I got to tell you something. If this government can get in your pants, they'll do it. They'll do it. And I've got more proof next. This is the Wells Report.
If you're turning on the AC for the warm days of spring and it's just not working or not cooling the way it should, time to call Walker Air Conditioning. Hey, Mark Davis. My friends at Walker are a family business, but big enough to cover North Texas with reliable, honorable service for your AC units. No commission salesmen showing up. They're technicians sent to fix your problem at an affordable price. Oh, if it's time for a new unit, they've got all the best brands at all the best prices. But let Walker AC see what you need first with techs who know what they're doing from a company you can trust. 52 years in the business, stellar customer reviews, A+ from the Better Business Bureau, specialists in AC and refrigeration for homes and business. Got a wine cellar, a wine fridge? They'll fix yours or install a new one. Walker AC, making sure you are cool and comfortable. Walker Air Conditioning. Website is walkerac.com. That's walkerac.com. Phone number is 972-4-WALKER. 972, the number 4, Walker. walkerac.com.
Have you heard? Proactive Plus is faster and better than ever. Stay tuned for a 1,000,000 bottle giveaway, and you'll also receive free shipping. Do you have troubled skin? Acne? Well, we have great news. With Proactive Plus, your acne can heal, and you can help prevent new breakouts from happening. Don't miss this limited time offer. Give us a call at 800-388-4019 because we're going to let 1,000,000 people try Proactive Plus risk-free and get 2 free gifts and also receive free shipping when you call right now. You heard it. This offer won't last long. So call Proactive Plus now and you'll receive a 60-day risk-free trial of Proactive Plus, 2 free extras, and free shipping. Call 1-800-388-4019. This is our exclusive radio offer, never on TV. Get your risk-free 60-day trial of Proactive Plus with free shipping. That's right, free shipping. Don't wait. Call 1-800-388-4019. That's 1-800-388-4019.
Hey, when choosing a financial advisor, outstanding reputation, decades of experience, and a successful track record are very important. The good news is I have someone I would like for you to meet. Hey, Sean Hannity here from my friend Bob Guess at Texas First Financial. Now, Bob Guess is an author, a speaker, an educator who has taught at SMU and other prestigious campuses in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Now, with his experience and the help of his team, Bob's clients earn a 9% return on their investments. That's a 9% return backed 100% by hard assets and no market volatility. Now, it's time you placed your investments with one of Texas Monthly's top advisors. Now, I know attractive, predictable, stable returns on your investments are important to you. Call Bob and his team today at 972-570-4444. That's 972-570-4444 for 9% returns and no market risk. Now, make sure you check him out yourself. Tell him Sean Hannity sent you.
Are you suffering with hearing loss? Are you sick of people constantly complaining that your TV is too loud? Are you tired of asking people to speak up? Would you like to hear more clearly, but you don't want to wear a hearing aid that makes you look old? Then you need to try Listen Clear, a life-changing breakthrough precisely designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. And you can adjust Listen Clear to find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And right now you can try Listen Clear absolutely risk-free with free shipping. We'll even give you free batteries for life. So call now. 1-800-507-2955. Listen Clear is lightweight and completely hassle-free, and it's practically invisible. Call for your 100% risk-free home trial with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-507-2955. That's 1-800-507-2955. 1-800-507-2955.
This plan is not insurance and does not meet minimum credible coverage requirements under the Affordable Care Act. This discount card program contains a 30-day cancellation and refund period. Administrator and benefits limited, Dallas, Texas, not available in all states.
You went to the dentist and he said you have to have a root canal and a crown. That's going to eat up almost $3,000. You could get it all for around $1,600. That's almost 50% less because you're a member of RealMedSavings.com. What is Real Med Savings? It's a membership like a discount club that lets you access huge networks of medical professionals for a whole lot less money. You save money because we've already negotiated the discounts. RealMedSavings.com costs less than $1 a day for the whole family. But Real Med Savings is not just for dental. It's doctor's consultations, vision, prescription drugs, and more. There's no long-term commitment and no salesman is going to call. Cancel anytime. Save real money on healthcare you need and use for everyday medical problems. Real medical savings for your entire family. RealMedSavings.com.
Saying I don't know is no longer acceptable. This is 660 AM, The Answer. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. 866-660-5759. Until this government proves that it can restrain itself, until this government can prove that the Fourth Amendment is more than just an impediment on their way to know everything in the world about us that they can. Anything that can be done to spy on us is being done. I had no idea the FBI was operating low-flying aircraft to surveil us. Now, they've been doing that a long time. Don't get me wrong. You've heard of police helicopters, right? Same thing. These are fixed-wing aircraft. But it's the same thing. But what they do is they operate with a warrant, except when they don't. Technology makes this a violation of the Constitution. When they used to fly an aircraft over, say, L.A., they could glom onto somebody. They could glom onto somebody, and they could say, "Who is that? We don't know." If they can get your picture from miles away, they can identify you through facial recognition. How the hell did they get a picture of my face? You got a driver's license? Passport? They just run you. It was no big deal that a helicopter was flying over watching your car because they had a description of your car. But technology now keeps track of your car even if your car isn't bugged. These license plate scanners render all of this surveillance as against the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution. Our technology is so good that it is forcing police departments, FBI, to violate the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution. It's just right there. Right there. But they're not the only ones. The FBI, not the only ones. The NSA, not the only ones. Get a load of this. The U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration more than tripled its use of wiretaps and other types of electronic eavesdropping over the past decade, largely bypassing federal courts and Justice Department lawyers in the process. The DEA conducted 11,681 electronic intercepts in the fiscal year that ended in September. 10 years earlier, the drug agency conducted 3,394. Most of the ramped-up surveillance was never reviewed by federal judges or Justice Department lawyers who are typically responsible for examining federal agency eavesdropping requests. Instead, DEA agents now take 60% of those requests directly to local prosecutors and judges from New York to California, who current and former officials say often approve them more quickly and easily. Drug investigations account for the vast majority of U.S. wiretaps. Much of that surveillance is carried out by DEA. Privacy advocates expressed concern that the drug agency had expanded its surveillance without going through internal Justice Department reviews, which often are more demanding than federal law requires. Wiretaps, which allow police to listen in on phone calls and other electronic communications, are considered so sensitive that federal law requires approval from a senior Justice Department official before agents can even ask a federal court for permission to conduct one. The law imposes no such restriction on state court wiretaps, even when they're sought by federal agents. Our government is spying on us full tilt every day, every single day. It's a violation of the Constitution of the United States. And it hasn't stopped yet, and I don't know why they ever would, unless we stop them. It's our calling. We should get to work. This is the Wells Report.
Are you ready to experience Israel?
Every once in a while, an opportunity to do something truly special comes along. An opportunity for an unforgettable and timely expedition to the land of Israel. This year, be a part of the Stand with Israel tour. Spend 9 days this fall in the fascinating and dramatic land of Israel with Mike Gallagher and Dennis Prager. Enjoy first-class accommodations and meals in comfort and safety. Visit 660amtheanswer.com for all the details and to register now. That's 660amtheanswer.com.
Dennis Gibbs, the boat guy, here with the Big Boat and Outdoor Show. It's boating time, folks, so don't forget to tune in to the only boating talk show on 660 AM The Answer every Saturday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. Brought to you by BoatSelect.com, the site with thousands of boats for sale, or list your boat for free on BoatSelect.com. I know you have questions about your boat or one you're buying. Email those questions to me at BigBoatShow@yahoo.com.
Do you have an IRA or an old 401k from a previous employer? I'm Jon-David Wells from the Wells Report for InvestingMakesMeSick.com. Are you wondering about how to grow your investments to get to retirement, but want more choices than stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or annuities? Do you even understand your current investments? Let me introduce to you Walt Parker.
JD, as usual, the message is quite simple. There are many more investment choices than you realize. You worked hard for your money for years, and now is the time to understand your investments and know your choices. InvestingMakesMeSick.com offers education and our We Come to You service and more choices than just stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and annuities.
Yes, sir. To schedule an appointment with Walt or an InvestingMakesMeSick.com advisor, call 972-463-3833, 972-463-3833, or log on to InvestingMakesMeSick.com. All investments involve risk. Investments may be considered speculative and incur substantial fees and expenses borne by the investor. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Titan Securities. InvestingMakesMeSick.com and Titan Securities are not affiliated.
Hi, I'm John Hill, founder of the Good Contractors List. I get asked a lot if the Good Contractors List is like Angie's List, so I thought I'd take the time to do a comparison and let you decide. On the Good Contractors List, we actually meet every one of our contractors face to face and have an extensive screening process. On Angie's List, you can pay to read reviews. On the Good Contractors List, if issues arise with our contractors, we get physically involved and will come to your home if necessary. On Angie's List, you can pay to write a bad review. The Good Contractors List takes into consideration things like overhead and sales tactics when choosing our contractors. On Angie's List, you can pay to read reviews. If one of our contractors refuses to fix a problem, we investigate fully and pay up to $10,000 of our own money to get it fixed. On Angie's List, you can write a bad review and you're on your own. The Good Contractors List is absolutely free with a $10,000 guarantee. Reviews are good. Responsibility is better.
Good Contractors List.
20 years of credit counseling and debt management services. More than 36,000 program members freed from credit card debt. Nearly $100 million saved in high interest and finance charges. It's Trinity's 20th anniversary, and these are just a few of the milestones we're celebrating as we begin our third decade of helping people become debt-free for keeps. Did you know that members who complete our program save on average more than $20,000 in interest?
My name is Mike. From the very first phone call, Trinity brought us relief by stopping all the late fees and collections calls, greatly reducing our interest and consolidating our bills into one easy-to-manage monthly payment. Now we're on track to save nearly $17,000 in finance charges. news. Happy 20th anniversary, Trinity. Thanks for helping so many save so much.
And Trinity can help you too. Call 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976. 1-800-990-6976.
Hey, does the idea of having your home sold on time without hassle and for top dollar, does that seem unrealistic to you? Well, it doesn't have to. Hey, Dallas, it's your friend Sean Hannity with your solution and the one real estate agent to sell your home guaranteed. That's Josh DeShong of Josh DeShong Real Estate at Keller Williams. On average, Josh sells a home every 32 hours and averages hundreds of local, national, and international buyers every single week. Now, that means your home sells on time at a price that you agreed to, guaranteed, or Josh will buy it. He spends 200 times more money on marketing than the average agent. Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only recommends Josh in DFW. And if I lived in Dallas and needed my home sold, guess what? I'd call Josh DeShong, and you should too. Call Josh now at 972-325-6644 or go online at getsold.net. That's 972-325-6644 or getsold.net.
660 AM. 660 AM. The Answer. 660 AM. TheAnswer.com. If it's important to you, it's on the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Mark Davis will show up tomorrow morning for the Wednesday edition of the Mark Davis Show. Mark, what have you got planned for us tomorrow morning?
Good Tuesday evening, JD. Listen, what's everybody's big issue as we examine the 2016 presidential field? The economy, fighting terror, honoring the Constitution. All of that is vital, of course. But if you think immigration isn't getting enough play, here comes Ann Coulter with her new book, Adios, America. She'll be with us 8:05 a.m. tomorrow. On the Wednesday show, also a chat with Congressman Jeb Henserling on things going on in Congress and any overnight news we can tackle, all between 7 and 10 tomorrow morning. Mark Davis Show right here on 660 AM The Answer.
Thank you very much, Mark. I'll look forward to your show tomorrow morning like I always do, my friend. A federal judge is now investigating allegations that the government may have improperly destroyed documents during a high-profile media leak investigation of National Security Agency whistleblower Thomas Drake. U.S. Magistrate Judge Stephanie Gallagher's inquiry was launched after Drake's lawyers in April accused the Pentagon Inspector General's office of destroying possible evidence during Drake's criminal prosecution, which ended almost 4 years ago. In a May 13th letter, Gallagher told Justice Department lawyers the judge who had presided over her case, or his case, asked her to evaluate the allegations from Drake's lawyers for further investigation and to make recommendations as to whether any action by the court was warranted or appropriate. These allegations raised new questions about a prosecution that had been excoriated by the presiding judge after the Justice Department's case against Drake unraveled and resulted in the former senior NSA official of pleading guilty to a misdemeanor charge. As a result of this controversial prosecution, Drake became the symbol of the dangers of whistleblowers and what they face when they help the media. Congress and government watchdogs investigate wrongdoing at intelligence agencies. The inquiry also comes as Congress debates a bill to scale back the NSA's sweeping surveillance powers, which, by the way, passed. And after a key federal appeals court ruled the law does not authorize mass collection of U.S. email and phone records. Okay, well, what about the FBI's Air Force? What about the DEA's amazing use of wiretaps? While the Pentagon IG, Inspector General's office, concluded last year that Drake had made protected disclosures to its office as a whistleblower, it rejected his claims that the NSA had retaliated against him. The Inspector General's office also looked at only 2 of the 10 years of alleged retaliation detailed in his account, concluding they were outside the time period considered practical for investigation. Jesselyn Raddick, Drake's current lawyer, declined to say what she expected from the judge's inquiry, which the McClatchy News Service, learned about independently. She said her client is grateful the court sees this as serious enough to look into. The fact there is a court-ordered investigation is a partial vindication, said Raddick, who is a national security director with the Government Accountability Project, a whistleblower advocacy group. As the presiding judge noted, Tom Drake has been through years of hell because of this prosecution. even though this case collapsed in a spectacular fashion. Drake's former defense lawyer and the two judges did not return calls. The Justice Department, the Pentagon's Inspector General's office, also declined to comment. Destruction of evidence, especially exculpatory evidence, is immoral. It violates evidence retention rules that prosecutors and federal agents are required to follow and can lead to sanctions against them, including jail. The problem with all this is the magistrate judge may not be able to do anything because Drake's case is over. Judge Gallagher asked the Justice Department to respond before June 12th. So here's the story. Beginning in 2002 and 2003, Drake joined a group of whistleblowers who cooperated with congressional and Pentagon Inspector General inquiries scrutinizing the NSA surveillance program. Yet the Obama administration targeted him and other U.S. intelligence officials under the Espionage Act for leaking classified information to journalists who were looking into alleged wrongdoing and abuse by spy agencies. When the prosecution case fell apart, U.S. District Court Judge Richard Bennett, who presided over the case, called the Justice Department's years-long pursuit of Drake unconscionable, adding it didn't pass the smell test. Bennett, a former U.S. attorney in Maryland, sentenced Drake to community service and probation. Raddick told Bennett in an April 17th letter she heard of the document destruction charges this year while representing Drake in his whistleblower complaint, accusing the NSA of retaliating against him. The government's handling of documents first became an issue during the evidence-gathering stage of Drake's prosecution when his criminal defense lawyers sought records related to his whistleblower cooperation with the Pentagon Inspector General's office in order to defend him. At the time, the Justice Department told the judge that most of the hard copy documents related to the Pentagon Inspector General's office audit that Drake had cooperated with were destroyed pursuant to a standard document destruction policy and could not be provided to the defense. To give you a quick summary of all that, Drake finds things in the NSA that he doesn't like, does not follow the route that was laid before him to go public with all of it. Edward Snowden was not what he wanted to do, so he contacted somebody that was as cleared as high as he was and passed along whistleblower information to them. That whistleblower information that he provided to the IG office was destroyed, quote, pursuant to a standard document destruction policy. You know what that's called? That's called obstruction of justice. Richard Bennett, U.S. District Court, U.S. District Court Judge Richard Bennett, heard from Attorney Raddick that she believed otherwise. I investigated the destruction of documents, learned that the Pentagon Inspector General's office does not have a document destruction policy. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Rather, the Inspector General's office has a records management program which dictated the documents should have been retained. Uh-oh. That's what we call your basic smoking gun. She did not accuse prosecutors of misconduct in the letter, but she asked the judge to refer the matter to the appropriate authority for investigations because the Justice Department account to the court was not accurate. Raddick has become well known for her stance against the Obama administration's crackdown on media leaks and for her representation of Edward Snowden, the former NSA contractor who leaked classified documents about the spy agency's surveillance to the media. McClatchy reported McClatchy News Service Reported earlier, the document destruction allegations arose out of a series of still secret complaints filed by multiple former and current officials from the Pentagon Inspector General's office about their office's handling of whistleblower cases, including Drake's. The group alleged to the Office of Special Counsel, a separate agency that invests whistleblower complaints, that senior officials with the Inspector General's office had attempted to water down or change findings in investigations because of fear of political controversy. Sounds like the Obama administration all of a sudden, doesn't it? Yeah, it's not controversy they're worried about. It's getting caught that they're worried about. That's terrible. Just awful. It's awful. This is just awful. The officials have asked the Office of Special Counsel for anonymity, citing fear of retaliation, and the counsel's office has refused to comment on the complaints. The Pentagon Inspector General's office has also declined. Those guys are running for the tall grass. That's all there is to it. Raddick told the judge she learned that the destruction of Drake's records prompted a debate inside the Pentagon's Inspector General's office over whether they had been improperly destroyed to cover up the office's role in the leak investigation, which is exactly what happened. Officials within the IG office disagreed about whether Drake and other NSA sources were being sufficiently protected as sources and whistleblowers during the audit, which of course they were. They were not being protected under any circumstances. Bad for business. Drake described his complaint with the Pentagon's Inspector General's office as his last-ditch effort to hold the NSA accountable for what he alleges is illegal retaliation against whistleblowers like him. Drake says he has emptied all of his bank accounts, spent his retirement, was declared indigent before the court as the Justice Department prosecuted him. He added that he was then left unemployable by federal government after the NSA suspended his clearances. You know what he does now? He works in an Apple store in Maryland. It's really hard to be a patriot. It's incredibly difficult to be a patriot. Jeez. Isn't this terrible? Isn't this just awful? How did our government get this far out of control? I'll tell you how. Because 9/11 happened. And the people who make up our government had to do something. Unfortunately, what they had to do badly damaged the Constitution of the United States. Badly damaged our civil and constitutional rights. They had to do something. They did the best they could. But at the end of everything, they opened the doors to government tyranny. And these people, probably driven by the same patriotism that calls me to call them out, rushed through that door to try to find as much as they possibly could, given the opportunity that they had, to try to stop as much of this criminal activity as they possibly could. That's what they did. And they didn't stop. And when new leadership took over, the spying on everyone to try to do a counterterrorist miracle, which, by the way, worked, turned into a political project to run political enemies to earth and destroy them as necessary in an effort to forward an agenda that could not be accomplished any other way. That's what's happening right now. That's where we are right now. This is how our country operates. Rand Paul was talking about questioning. It's actually a Senate rule. You don't question other people's motives. I have been guilty of that on this broadcast. The reason I have been guilty of that is because, to me, in my life experience, I have seen ways of using the Constitution not as an impediment, seeing the Constitution not as an impediment, but rather as an elegant set of rules that are designed to get the very best out of government, not the very worst. But as we have seen, the trip between the very best of government and the very worst of government is a very short trip. Depending on who's running the government, it's a very short trip, and it can be traversed in the blink of an eye. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM, The Answer.
Okay, most of you know that I was diagnosed last year with stage 3 throat cancer. This is Michael Medved. Fortunately, I had some great advice and previously had purchased both life insurance and long-term care insurance. I'm glad I did because I wouldn't be able to buy them today. I worked with Rick Nathanson, a nationally recognized expert in life insurance and long-term care insurance. I put my trust and confidence in Rick, and I'm glad that I did. Even the most uncertain times of my treatment, I had the peace of mind of knowing that the plans Rick implemented would have protected my family. Don't take a chance. Your insurance needs require the advice of someone you trust. I'm glad I relied on Rick Nathanson, and so should you. Don't let an unexpected change in your health put your family or loved ones at risk. I hope my situation can be a wake-up call for my listeners. Be prepared. Take steps to protect your family. Call Rick today at 866-742-5582. That's 866-742-5582. 866-742-5582. or on the web at ricknathanson.com.
They're always coming, and sometimes they take you by surprise. Special occasions, birthdays, anniversaries, engagements. You've got to do your best, but you want some great selection and save a bunch of money, and you will do that at Dallas Gold and Silver Exchange. DGSE.com. For birthdays, anniversaries, occasions where you've got to do some very special shopping for the most important people in your life. Check out the 9 locations of Dallas Gold and Silver Exchange at DGSE.com. Obviously, gold, jewelry, earrings, pendants, engagement rings, settings, loose diamonds, gemstones, incredible prices on all the above. They are your pre-owned Rolex headquarters. It's a beautiful Rolex. Ain't nobody going to know it's previously owned. You know what I mean? Gold, silver, and precious metals investing. They've been my headquarters for this for more than 20 years. Great prices, awesome selection, fantastic customer service. Dallas Gold and Silver Exchange. Get on in there today. Save a bunch of money and have a great time. DGSE.com. That's DGSE.com, Dallas Gold and Silver Exchange.
This is a message for everyone who suffers from tinnitus, the constant ringing or buzzing in your ears. Right now, Ringaway is inviting you to participate in a special nationwide giveaway of a new breakthrough that combats ear ringing. That's right, we're giving away free bottles of this fast-acting breakthrough to everyone who calls in the next 10 minutes. Just call 1-800-448-1916. If lines are busy, try again. This is an exclusive radio-only offer. Ringaway is our #1 product for ear ringing, and there's nothing like it. Powered by fast-acting, doctor-recommended ingredients, it's scientifically designed to combat ear ringing and buzzing, so you can work and sleep in peace. But you can only get a free bottle by calling now. Take part in this special nationwide giveaway and see for yourself. If you want the ringing to stop, call now for details and participate in this special nationwide giveaway of Ringaway. For your free bottle, just call in the next 10 minutes. 1-800-448-1916. Hurry, supplies are limited. 1-800-448-1916.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head dealing with monthly payments, there's a powerful secret that credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $5,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Debt Relief Advocates, and we're offering you free information on how to virtually eliminate your credit card debt and make your monthly payment affordable. To see how much you could save, call now 1-800-791-6811. Don't declare bankruptcy. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. Find out how easy it is by calling now. For the secret the credit card companies don't want you to know, call Debt Relief Advocates now and see how much money you could save for free. 1-800-791-6811. That's 1-800-791-6811. 1-800-791-6811.
Set sail with Newt Gingrich. Get aboard the Elegant Crystal Symphony for a spectacular 7-day cruise from New York to Montreal. At the same time, enjoy stimulating seminars on politics and investment. Our guests include Newt Gingrich, Mark Skousen, John Ransom, and Chris Versace. And everything's included. We set sail September 13th through the 20th. Join us for the Politics in Your Portfolio cruise. Log on to politicsandyourportfolio.com for all the details. Politicsandyourportfolio.com.
Realtors have expertise in land development and management, retail, industrial, office, and investment properties. They have the experience, knowledge, and savvy to help you achieve your business and investment real estate goals. Realtors also have the power of the National Association of Realtors behind them, working with legislators and regulators to support the key role commercial real estate plays in our national economy. Ask for a professional who understands your commercial business. Ask for a Realtor. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells, and very few people know that I spent the first several years of my life in corrective shoes. My feet wrapped themselves around my lower legs, and I was close to having club feet or club foot, which is a congenital deformity that severely twists the foot downward and inward, making walking very difficult. So when I had a chance to talk to you about Cure International and their project to get rid of clubfoot in Haiti, I said, you know, I have a pretty good idea what that's like. You know, the kids made fun of my shoes, but it was okay because they were the only ones. But when your feet don't point the right direction, you're having a tough time walking. Well, being teased by other kids is just one of the problems. And I can speak about this firsthand. Cure International, with a $400 donation, can fix a clubfoot condition for a kid. If you have $2,800, you happen to run a business, we can give you a business benefactor campaign. More details on that are coming up, including how I will voice your commercial as you get a free advertising campaign on 660 AM The Answer if you donate $2,800 to Cure International. This problem may seem far away in Haiti, but it's not. While you may be fixing the feet and the walking opportunity for a young kid in a far-flung country, it'll do your heart a lot of good. More details coming up. You're listening to the Wells Report.
Bill Bennett finds out the hard way that not everyone agrees with him.
I want to read an email because we have occasionally angry emails. Do we have daily angry emails?
Yeah.
Good to know. Do we have many daily angry emails?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we also have nice emails?
Yes, we do have nice emails. Yeah.
More nice than not nice?
Depends on the day.
Bill Bennett's Morning in America. Weekday mornings at 5, right before the Mark Davis Show at 7 on 660 AM. The Answer.
I had the home of my dreams, but one day I noticed cracks in the wall by the front door, as well as the kitchen window. A neighbor recommended Abacus Foundation Repair. He said they're the best foundation repair company in Dallas, and they use an advanced system on your foundation called Millennium Composite Pilings that'll last 1,000 years. Well, I went to their website, abacusfoundationrepair.com, and saw that they have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, and the world's leading service company review website recommended them highly. And the best part? They haven't had a complaint in the last 13 years. So I called them, and I'm happy I did. Abacus Foundation Repair guaranteed their work, and they gave me a lifetime transferable warranty.
If you see cracks in the walls of your home or your doors don't shut properly, call Abacus Foundation Repair at 972-406-9000. That's 972-406-9000. Or go to abacusfoundationrepair.com. If you want your foundation fixed right the first time, call Abacus Foundation Repair.
In national financial news, a limited number of 2015 U.S. Silver Eagle dollars are now available at an introductory price too low to reveal on the radio. In a moment, we'll provide the toll-free number to call. The Silver Eagle is the largest and purest U.S. silver dollar ever struck. 1 ounce of pure silver, and is the only silver coin guaranteed by the U.S. government for its weight and purity. Over the years, the Silver Eagle has been one of the world's most popular and widely collected silver coins. From time to time, the U.S. Mint has even suspended production during periods of exceptionally high demand. Demand for the 2015 Silver Eagle is expected to be intense, especially at the shockingly low introductory price, forcing a strict limit of just 10 per household. To claim a share of these Silver Eagles and receive a free collector's guide, interested individuals are encouraged to call now. 1-800-500-6706. 1-800-500-6706. 1-800-500-6706.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. President Obama's now signed the USA Freedom Act passed by the Senate late this afternoon.
Without making any changes to what the House passed last month, the Senate has now approved the USA Freedom Act, restarting Patriot Act surveillance provisions, but forcing the NSA to end bulk collection of phone data within 6 months.
Fox News Radio's Jared Halpern. A terrorist suspect named Osama Rahim was killed in Boston this morning.
Boston police say one of their officers and an FBI agent approached the man, intending to ask him some questions. The man pulled what the police commissioner has described as a black military-style knife. The officers asked him several times to put the knife down. They gave several commands, said Commissioner William Evans, but ultimately turned to deadly force.
Fox's Molly Line. Pasco County, Florida teacher Dean Liptak's been suspended for using a signal jammer in his class to keep students from using their cell phones. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer.
Have you ever thought you'd like to buy and sell houses but didn't know how or where to begin? Do you fear your job is in jeopardy, or is your business income reduction keeping you awake at night? We're in the best time in 25 years to make a fortune in real estate without using your money or credit. Ron LeGrand has taught 500,000 people to do just that and personally bought hundreds of houses. If you call 800-473-7178 24 hours a day and leave your information, he'll send the first 500 callers his hot new CD, Foreclosure Fortunes, and his best-selling book to help you get started absolutely free. He'll show you how to build a 6-figure income part-time with no previous experience and no license, even if you're a busy professional. Call 800-473-7178 24 hours a day and get Ron's new book and CD. That's 800-473-7178. Take your life back and make this your best year ever. Call 800-473-7178.
Have you been holding out for a good deal to replace your old AC system? Well, now there's a new program that's too good to pass up. I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. You've probably already heard that you can save over $3,500 on a new Infinity system with Carrier's Cool Cash, but did you know that for a limited time, you can also get an additional $1,000 off from your utility provider? That's right, and when you combine these two programs, we're talking saving over $4,500 on a brand new AC system that can cut your electric bill in half. But the utility funds are limited, and the program will end when the money runs out. So right now, we're scheduling free estimates on a first-come, first-served basis. Call us now, or if you want, call 2 other companies first, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437, or online at ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
This is an announcement for all people who want to take a risk-free
risk-free challenge to whiten their teeth in 5 minutes. By calling now, you can whiten your teeth in 5 minutes using clinically proven power swabs. This risk-free challenge is for people whose smile has been yellowed by coffee, tea, red wine, or smoking. The Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is available by responding to this advertisement. If lines are busy, try again. Because the Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is exclusive, it's not available in drugstores. Power Swabs was formulated by Dr. Martin Ginniger and whitens teeth with a patented tooth detergent and whitening agent. It's so effective, we challenge you to try it for 5 minutes to see how white your smile could be. Get it risk-free. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037. Transform your smile into a wow, you look great smile. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037.
Hey, when choosing a financial advisor, outstanding reputation, decades of experience, and a successful track record are very important. The good news is I have someone I would like for you to meet. Hey, Sean Hannity here from my friend Bob Guess at Texas First Financial. Now, Bob Guess is an author, a speaker, an educator who has taught at SMU and other prestigious campuses in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Now, with his experience and the help of his team, Bob's clients earn a 9% return on their investments. That's a 9% return backed 100% by hard assets and no market volatility. Now, it's time you placed your investments with one of Texas Monthly's top advisors. Now, I know attractive, predictable, stable returns on your investments are important to you. Call Bob and his team today at 972-570-4444. That's 972-570-4444 for 9% returns and no market risk. Now make sure you check them out yourself. Tell them Sean Hannity sent you.
This plan is not insurance and does not meet minimum credible coverage requirements under the Affordable Care Act. This discount card program contains a 30-day cancellation and refund period. Administrator and benefits limited, Dallas, Texas, not available in all states.
I'm a mother. When my kids were growing up, I can't tell you how many times they had a cold, an ear, or sinus infection. I already knew it was the same thing one of the other kids had 3 months before. Could I get a doctor to call me at home? No, I had to take off work or worse, bundle all the other kids and go to the doctor's office. Well, not anymore. RealMedSavings.com is like a discount club for healthcare. At RealMedSavings.com, you just call the 800 number and a board-certified doctor calls you back in about 15 minutes, talks to you about what it is, and then calls in a prescription if it's needed. You pay nothing for this doctor's call because you're a member of the club. RealMedSavings.com is not insurance, just real savings on everyday medical problems for your whole family. Go to RealMedSavings.com. Save money and time. RealMedSavings.com. It's worth going there.
Clean up with deals on top quality hardwood floors from Lumber Liquidators. Tired of that old carpet? Replace it with stylish and affordable hardwood like 5-inch pre-finished oak for just 99 cents. It's easier to clean than carpet, and this week we've got it for less than half of what you'd pay at other stores. Or get hand-scraped bamboo for $1.99. It's beautifully textured, and now it's 43% less. Plus, laminate and more from 49 cents and 18-month special financing. Now is the time to roll up that dingy carpet and lay down a quality hardwood floor. Visit LumberLiquidators.com to find a store near you.
660 AM, The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
Yep. You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. You can find us anywhere you want to. You can find us on Facebook, The Wells Report. All one word, all lowercase, The Wells Report at Facebook. You can find us on YouTube live events. We got a hangout going on right now. And let's see how many tens of people are actually watching. Let's see. We've got 4 people. We have 4 people watching. There are maybe as many as 40 fingers that are currently attached to people listening to this Wells Report. You can find us. Oh, well, looky there. Yvonne Field is there. Hi, Yvonne. Anyway, you can find us at YouTube live events, The Wells Report, and you can find us. And you can see my very, very cool Motorhead Chevrolet Big Block SS shirt, which I'm wearing right now. In a very studly way, I might add. the president of the United States is, I don't know, is blinking out? Is he blinking out? I mean, is the fabric of space in his current area, is the fabric of space weakened to the point where he's in danger of falling into an alternate reality in some way? Were you going to say something, EP? You think he's falling into his own press releases? That's the question for this topic, by the way. And I don't want your partisan, angry screed. I want your honest analysis of what this president is showing us. He gets elected to office, the highest office in the entire land, and then embarks on a worldwide America blows and I'm here to apologize tour. Which infuriated all of us. Somewhere down the line, we end up with a president who does not believe in American exceptionalism. In fact, he believes that American exceptionalism is very much like the German exceptionalism that led to the deaths of 6 million Jews, or the Soviet socialist nationalism that led to the death of 20 million perfectly good Russians. Do we have such a horrific crime against humanity in the history of our nation? No, although some people will say, what about the Native Americans? Huh? So what I can say is this. I can say that this president is going about a bit of business that is frustrating, annoying, worrisome. But as I have said since the first day I laid eyes on President Barack Obama, the United States of America is Obama-proof. We shall overcome this. And today we might have gotten some help from the very president who has done everything he can do to weaken America and provide for the American people a near endless opportunity to second guess every move we make. So, what did the president do to help us out today? Well, he was answering questions at a town hall with YSEALI Fellows. It's an exchange program for community leaders from ASEAN, the Association of Southeastern Nations. Used to be CETO. He said that his administration had done something that I think is fantasy land. Here's what he said.
You know, people don't remember, when I came into office, the United States, in world opinion, ranked below China and just barely above Russia. And today, once again, the United States is the most respected country on earth. And part of that, I think, is because of the work that we did to re-engage the world and say that we want to work with you as partners with mutual interest and mutual respect. It's on that basis that we were able to end 2 wars while still focusing on the very real threat of terrorism and to try to work with our partners on the ground in places like Iraq and Afghanistan. It's the reason why, we've are moving in the direction of normalizing relations with Cuba. The nuclear deal that we're trying to negotiate with Iran.
He's restored the U.S. as the most respected country in the world. Do you agree? 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. When I came into office, the United States of America, in world opinion, ranked below China and just barely above Russia. And now, once again, the United States is the most respected country on earth. I've actually looked at the raw data that he's quoting here. Tied for first in worldwide approval ratings is the United States of America and South Korea. Okay. Hi, Jonathan. So what he says is that I, President Obama, I have restored the U.S. as the most respected country in the world. Really? After crapping on it for 6 years. Do you agree with the president? Is the United States more respected in the world now than when he came to office? 866-660-5759. Do you agree with President Obama that he has restored the U.S. as the most respected country in the world? Anti-Americanism has become a fungible aspect of German politics. Blaming the Americans is now established as hard currency in the matters of security, trade, and in setting the tone of public discussion, either directly and gratingly or managed more evasively, but with real recognition of this harsh disaffection with the United States of America. There is an unavoidable subject rumbling like a turbine in a shed, writes the Wall Street Journal editorial board, that's likely to be avoided in public when German Chancellor Angela Merkel and President Obama meet in Bavaria at the end of the week in the margins of the G7 summit. Bruce Stokes of Pew Research noted last week that of all the Europe's major countries, Germany has a 51% favorability rating, and the U.S. is second lowest after Greece. Now, I don't have any idea what the president is actually quoting. I mean, I looked it up, and Pew Research came up with year-by-year approval ratings of all the countries, in the United States in 2014 was at 82%. The favorability rating of Pew Research's Institute's favorability rankings had the U.S. as second lowest after Greece. Yeah. Yeah. Except that a new level of contempt has been reached in cranking up the old notion of Germany being treated ruthlessly, even victimized by Washington. Joschka Fischer, a former foreign minister, regards this anti-American trend as strong. Over a period of a month and trying to set himself up as Germany's century of sovereignty, Sigmar Gabriel, who heads the Social Democrats, had accused American security agencies of forcing German opposite numbers to spy on European officials and companies for them. He says Germans aren't going to accept lessons or orders and called on Angela Merkel to show backbone in standing up to America. So the president, according to himself, has restored the U.S. as the most respected country in the world. Do you agree? Spencer, thanks very much for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
Well, if by the world's most respected country he means the world's greatest doormat, then I'd have to agree.
Yeah, I suppose that all these countries that couldn't get within 50 miles of catching up to us, now that they have gotten within 30 miles of catching up to us, they've got to be feeling pretty good.
Well, basically, we are now the equivalent of Stephen King's hobbled author while we are stuck in bed being force-fed.
Yeah, I guess. I try to avoid Stephen King because I don't want to have stuff in my head I can't get rid of. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm just saying there's nothing. Stephen King cannot write anything scarier than what is happening from our current administration.
That is a very, very good point. Thanks very much, Spence. I appreciate it. 866-660-5759. How has the president restored respect to the United States? How? Anyone? Can anybody give me one way that the president of the United States has actually increased the level of respect for our nation? How has he done that? Spence believes that he's done that by making the United States a doormat to the world. Do you agree with Spence? 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. The President of the United States, I've restored the U.S. as the most respected country in the world. I think he's dreaming. Vicky Stifer believes that he's been reading his own press clippings. What do you believe? Tell me next. This is the Wells Report.
The Mark Davis Show. Mark Davis Show.
What's your big issue as you examine the 2016 presidential field? The economy, fighting terror, honoring the Constitution, all vital. But if you think immigration isn't getting enough play, here comes Ann Coulter with her new book, Adios, America. She'll be with us 8:05 a.m. on our Wednesday show. Also a chat with Congressman Jim Henschling and a overnight news we can tackle, all between 7 and 10.
The Mark Davis Show. Weekday mornings at 7, right before Mike Gallagher at 10 on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Hi, this is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. I'd like for you to join me on my talk show this weekend. What I do is teach people how to go the natural, organic route. I stir up trouble, too, because I throw out some things that a lot of people just don't think are correct. You know what? We have a lot of experience to back up what we recommend. Have healthier gardens and more fun gardening. Join me this and every weekend.
Join Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
This is Albert Mohler for townhall.com. The nation of Ireland recently became the very first on the planet to legalize same-sex marriage by a vote of the people, a referendum. As the Associated Press reported, quote, Ireland citizens have voted in a landslide to legalize gay marriage, a stunningly lopsided result that illustrates what Catholic leaders and rights activists alike have called a social revolution, end quote. More fundamentally, it's a worldview revolution and a moral revolution. According to The Economist of London, we should note, 84% of the population regard themselves in Ireland as Catholic. Moreover, 71% of Irish young people voted for same-sex marriage. As Catholic leaders have pointed out, they were educated in Catholic schools. The big lesson for all of us is this: if we fail to teach our young people the truth about marriage, we shouldn't be surprised when one way or another they make very clear they're confused about what marriage is. There's a big lesson for all of us here. I'm Albert Mohler.
In the early 60s, Dolores and Ray Butcher and their 3 daughters earned a trip to Disneyland by collecting S&H green stamps. It was a dream come true. Today, nearly everyone has a wallet or keychain full of loyalty reward cards that they use for discounts, gifts, and even free dinners at their favorite restaurants. For years, an international company has been offering a universal loyalty rewards card in Europe. We call it the Blue Card, one card to replace dozens. The Blue Card offers discounts up to 5% cash back. It even accumulates accumulates points to shop at participating merchants and an online mall. Today, they're looking for independent representatives to launch this card in the U.S. and Canada. It is free to get the card and free to become a representative. You could help launch the Blue Card in your area and get paid wherever it is used. Imagine you could be paid every time someone fills their gas tank, buys groceries, orders an airline ticket, or purchases just about anything.
To get your free Blue Card, go to bluecardshopping.com. That's bluecardshopping.com. bluecardshopping.com.
How are we supposed to balance the budget when our appliances keep breaking down? Last month, it was the air conditioner. Before that, the refrigerator. What's it going to be next month?
It's hard enough these days trying to keep a balanced household budget. It's even harder when a home appliance or system breaks down unexpectedly. The repair bill could set you back months. But buying a home warranty from American Home Shield helps protect your budget against those unexpected costs because they help pay covered repairs for you. Your air conditioner, plumbing, oven, refrigerator, water heater, and more. For helpful free information, go to ahs.com or call 1-800-322-4147. Service requests are subject to a fee for each trade call. Some exclusions and limitations apply. The truth is, home appliances and systems do break down. So why not get a home warranty and let American Home Shield help pay covered repair bills for you? For helpful free information, including terms, rates, and coverage, go to ahs.com. That's ahs.com. Or call 1-800-322-4147.
Hey everybody, Mark Davis from my friends at Good Feet. I've been proud for years to send you to the Good Feet locations in Plano and in Fort Worth. And now I'm really glad to tell you about the third Good Feet location, South Lake, Texas, right there at 2615 East South Lake Boulevard, a couple of blocks east of Town Square on South Lake Boulevard between Kimball and Nolan. Know what happens in there? The same great results you've always gotten in Plano and in Fort Worth. Real people taking care of real foot problems. Foot pain can spread. It can become leg pain, hip pain, back pain. Let's get you out of pain. At goodfeetdfw.com, learn about all the locations, brand new in South Lake. Plano, still on the corner of Coit and the Bush Turnpike in front of Central Market. Fort Worth, 1 block south of I-20 on Bryant Irvin. And brand new Good Feet in South Lake, 2615 East South Lake Boulevard, 2 blocks east of Town Square. It's Good Feet, getting people out of pain today. America's #1 arch support. Check them out at goodfeetdfw.com. That's goodfeetdfw.com, Plano, Fort Worth, and South Lake.
If you've got questions, we've got answers. 660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report. A daily good old-fashioned North Texas barbecue of anybody trying to take advantage of us on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. President Obama, quote, "I've restored the U.S. as the most respected country in the world." Do you agree? 866-660-5759. Where's this coming from? Has the president... Charles Krauthammer said he wonders what planet the president's on. Charles Krauthammer, of course, is a partisan political commentator. Partisan. But you got to wonder, you have to wonder what's going on there. What is he thinking? I mean, he took shots at the United States from the very beginning of his presidency. He's been taking shots at the United States ever since. And it's just absolutely not anywhere close to reality. What's he talking about? So what are we seeing here? Give me your analysis. 866-660-5759. Give me your analysis about what's going on here. I really need to know. What do you see this president doing? Okay, so here's the reason why he's doing it. Stop me when I run off course. He's doing everything he possibly can to have a post-presidential story. But just like he can't tell the truth when it comes to his political agenda, so bad, in fact, that what he has done is he has turned his presidency into a series of lies. Big ones. His credibility is nearly absent, except with those psychopathic leftist crazy people that believe he's doing exactly what he should be doing. But he's not doing exactly what he should be doing. And then he's trying to take credit for doing what he should have been doing all along, which was to enhance America's respect around the world. But if I can at least quote him in some way, hey, you didn't do that. You did exactly the opposite. What is his mental state? What is he thinking? Does this help or hinder already damaged credibility? To me, he's hindering himself. I mean, what are people going to think about this president when his days in office are done? I don't think it's going to be pretty. I just don't. I do not believe it's going to be pretty in any way, shape, or form. So much potential. He could have done so much. But look what he's doing to himself. Why? Why is he doing this? Somebody tell me. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM, The Answer.
Good news from Dynavite. New No Flea flea and tick spray kills fleas and ticks with no poison. New No Flea is totally safe for dogs, cats, puppies, kittens, kids, babies crawling on the carpet, and even you. Because it's made from vegetable oil. No Flea dissolves the hard shell of a flea or tick on contact, so the moist insides of that flea or tick just dry up.
No fleas.
No more flea instantly. No more ticks soon thereafter. Best of all, no more poison ever. So as of today, you can stop using imidacloprid, moxidectin, pyrethrin, and all those other flea and tick poisons. Get all the grisly nitty-gritty about fleas and ticks, or before your beloved pet ventures out in the backyard again, order a 30 or 60-day supply of new No Flea. Just click the pic of the dead flea on Dynavite.com.
859-428-1000. DINOVITE.com.
Hey, Mike Krejci here, sales manager of 660 AM The Answer, and it's that time of year again, the time when we support one of our favorite charities, Cure International. These are the folks that help heal sick children in countries all around the world. Now, how can you help? Well, you can go to 660amtheanswer.com and donate to this awesome cause. They'd certainly appreciate anything that you can give. But if you are a business owner, we are offering you a special program. It's called the Business Benefactor. What you do is donate $2,800 to Cure International, and in exchange, you'll get an advertising campaign on 660 AM The Answer to run during the next 90 days absolutely free. So you'll be helping your business and Cure International all at the same time. It's really a win-win. We have a terrific team that writes and produces the commercials for you, and we get it on the air. It's really easy. Now, we only offer the Business Benefactor program for this week only. So call me today to get started. My number is 214-561-2164. That's 214-561-2164. One more time, 214-561-2164. Thank you.
If you're turning on the AC for the warm days of spring and it's just not working or not cooling the way it should, time to call Walker Air Conditioning. Hey, Mark Davis. My friends at Walker are a family business, but big enough to cover North Texas with reliable, honorable service for your AC units. No commission salesmen showing up. They're technicians sent to fix your problem at an affordable price. Oh, if it's time for a new unit, they've got all the best brands at all the best prices. But let Walker AC see what you need first with techs who know what they're doing from a company you can trust. 52 years in the business, stellar customer reviews, A+ from the Better Business Bureau, specialists in AC and refrigeration for homes and business. Got a wine cellar, a wine fridge? They'll fix yours or install a new one. Walker AC, making sure you are cool and comfortable. Walker Air Conditioning. Website is walkerac.com. That's walkerac.com. Phone number is 972-4-WALKER. 972, the number 4, Walker. walkerac.com.
Okay, most of you know that I was diagnosed last year with stage 3 throat cancer. This is Michael Medved. Fortunately, I had some great advice and previously had purchased both life insurance and long-term care insurance. I'm glad I did because I wouldn't be able to buy them today. I worked with Rick Nathanson, a nationally recognized expert in life insurance and long-term care insurance. I put my trust and confidence in Rick, and I'm glad that I did. Even the most uncertain times of my treatment, I had the peace of mind of knowing that the plans Rick implemented would have protected my family. Don't take a chance. Your insurance needs require the advice of someone you trust. I'm glad I relied on Rick Nathanson, and so should you. Don't let an unexpected change in your health put your family or loved ones at risk. I hope my situation can be a wake-up call for my listeners. Be prepared. Take steps to protect your family. Call Rick today at 866-742-5582. That's 866-742-5582. 866-742-5582. Or on the web at ricknathanson.com.
Hi, I'm Tom Kidd, engineering graduate of Texas A&M and owner of Structured Foundation Repairs. Our number is 972-484-1200. Our motto is to do the right thing. In some respects, it's hard being the company that always does the right thing. But for our customers' sake, it's very important that we do. Being fully insured, as an example, costs us a lot of money, but it protects our customers. Having employees instead of day laborers is a huge responsibility, but our dedicated employees ensure that we do the best repairs we can. Managing a large office staff can be tedious, but they provide our customers a helpful voice when they need something urgent. Returning every phone call is time-consuming, but instills our customers with confidence that we will always be there when they need us. The Aggie Code of Honor states that Aggies don't lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those that do. That code was the principle our company was founded on, and it guides our daily operations. If this sounds like the kind of company you could trust to repair your foundation, call us today for a free evaluation at 972-484-1200 or click structuredfoundation.com.
Need more fodder while arguing with your liberal friends? We've got you covered. 660 AM, The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
Yeehaw! You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. The president, as you know, is in the last basic dregs of his presidency. He has tried to fundamentally change the United States. Arguably, he has effected a lot of change. As a matter of fact, somebody who noticed is Ann Coulter. She believes that the United States has been changed faster in a shorter amount of time than any other country in history. She's going to join us here on the Wells Report next week. Tomorrow morning, you can hear her on Mark Davis's show on 660 AM The Answer. There are a lot of things missing out of President Obama's agenda. The most important thing for him to do was to get Obamacare off the ground. He did. He ran the Democrat-controlled Congress to exhaustion, passing one thing after another, mostly disapproved of by you and me in the United States of America. So much disapproval, in fact, that at our first opportunity, we took away the House of Representatives from the president. At our next opportunity, we took away the Senate. And so now we're in a situation where we very likely will take away from the Democrats the presidency and continue to rule the roost in both houses, probably expanding the majorities in both of them, although it would be hard to do in the House of Representatives. But I'm telling you, what you need to do, honestly, you need to elect Tea Party conservatives. Let the word go forth from this time and place to do so. The president is not going to go quietly into the night. In fact, The Justice Department is moving forward this year with more than a dozen new gun-related regulations. The regulations range from new restrictions on high-powered pistols to gun storage requirements. Chief among them is a renewed effort to keep guns out of the hands of people who are mentally unstable or have been convicted of domestic abuse. Gun safety advocates have been calling for such reform since the Sandy Hook school shooting nearly 3 years ago in Newtown, Connecticut. They say keeping guns away from dangerous people is of primary importance. The rest of us in the nation contend that such a sweeping ban would unfairly root out a number of prospective gun owners who are not a danger to society. It's clear President Obama is beginning his final assault on Second Amendment rights by forcing anti-gun agenda on honest, law-abiding citizens through executive force. This from Luke Odell, Vice President of Political Affairs at the National Association for Gun Rights. The Justice Department is going to issue new rules expanding the criteria for people who do not qualify for gun ownership, according to the recently released Unified Agenda. The Unified Agenda. It's a list of rules federal agencies are developing. This, by the way, reported by The Hill and by Tom Devaney. Some of the rules come in response to President Obama's call to reduce gun violence in the wake of Sandy Hook. He issued 23 executive actions shortly after the shooting aimed at keeping guns away from dangerous people, and some of those remain incomplete. If America worked harder to keep guns out of the hands of dangerous people, there would be fewer atrocities like the one that occurred in Newtown, said President Obama, forgetting that if America worked harder to keep guns out of the hands of dangerous people, there would be more atrocities like the one in Aurora, Colorado, James Holmes slaughtering his neighbors, completely defenseless, because Cinemark theaters refuse to let anybody carry weapons inside their properties. Holmes should have gotten away no more than 1 or 2 shots before someone shot him right in the head. But because law-abiding citizens respect Cinemark, nobody was armed. That's going to get worse before it gets better. It's going to be worse before it gets better. President Obama said this: "We can respect the Second Amendment while keeping an irresponsible, law-breaking few from inflicting harms on a massive scale." You can't, Mr. President. That's not possible. You can't do that without encumbering, obstructing, flat inhibiting Americans from defending themselves. Gun control groups have rallied around President Obama's call to action, zeroing in on policies that would keep guns away from the mentally ill and domestic abusers. Congressional efforts to expand background checks and keep guns away from dangerous people have failed in recent years, but the legislative defeats won't stop the Justice Department from regulating. Maybe for now. But as I've said, the maxim holds true. The more you abuse your power, the quicker we, the people of the United States, will take it away from you. The Justice Department's Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives is looking to revive a rule proposed in 1998 that would block domestic abusers from owning guns. As proposed, the regulation makes it illegal for someone who has been convicted of a misdemeanor domestic violence offense to own a gun. The ATF plans to finalize the rule by November, according to the Unified Agenda. But gun rights advocates are concerned the Obama administration will use this rule to unfairly target certain gun owners. Yeah, this is a problem. What's domestic violence? Well, spanking your kid. You ever get spanked with a switch? I have. Who was the Vikings player that ended up having to sit out most of the season because
Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, Adrian Peterson. Whipped his son with a switch. Under this new rule by the Justice Department, every weapon in his house would be confiscated. He'd never see him again. And by the way, let me ask you a question. Has any angry ex-wife or soon-to-be ex-wife ever accused her miscreant former or about-to-be former mate of domestic abuse? The answer is yes. Out of the number of times that has happened, how many of those have actually been true? What's the over-under? 20%? 30%? 20%? 25%? 20%. 20% might actually be true, which means that 80% of men who are dealing with an angry woman in their life are going to lose their gun rights because she lied. You don't believe that's the case? Ask Kurt Busch. You know Kurt Busch. His girlfriend accused him of domestic abuse. He had to sit out a couple of races of the NASCAR season because of that. Got into court, and the case blew up. Finds out that this girl's a bad actor. In other words, she accomplishes acts that are bad. She is not someone who doesn't do well in front of a camera. She's a bad actor. That's why these laws can't work. That's why the government can't do this. The Brady campaign to prevent gun violence, Every Town for Gun Safety, and the Americans for Responsible Solutions did not immediately respond to requests for comments based on these revelations that these new Justice Department Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives rules would throw many men into the hands of the court system for no reason whatsoever. Everytown, a group financially backed by former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg, has argued that keeping guns out of the hands of domestic abusers can be a matter of life or death. American women are 11 times more likely to be shot and killed than women in other developed countries. The high rate of domestic violence deaths in America is directly related to our weak gun laws. That's not true. Absolutely not true. We know that smart gun laws can and do stop domestic abuse from turning into murder. Yeah, right up until somebody gets hit with a hammer, which is the #1 murder weapon in the U.S. The ATF is also looking to prohibit the mentally ill from owning firearms, which is attracting even more criticism from gun rights groups. The Obama administration is trying very hard to disqualify people from owning a gun on the basis they are seeing a psychologist. The NRA contends that many people who are mentally ill may not necessarily pose a danger to society, or as the gun lobby puts it, the policy snares masses of mostly harmless individuals. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. So let's go back to this marriage that's flying apart. Couple not getting along. The female, probably at the behest of her lawyer, says, you really need to pick a fight with him or he's going to take you to the cleaners. So she picks a fight with him. Things blow out of proportion. She files a domestic violence charge against her ex-husband. He ends up getting arrested, going to jail. And then what ends up happening was, how about this? How about if this same couple decides what they're going to do is they're going to fight for the marriage and they start going and seeing a psychologist, a marriage counselor? Does ATF run and take away those people's weapons right now because they're seeing a psychologist? These are problems. The NRA contends many people who are mentally ill may not necessarily pose a danger to society. Gun rights advocates argue that it would be more effective to ban people on an individual basis as opposed to banning all people who are mentally ill. By the way, a records search of people trying to determine whether or not you are nuts violates every HIPAA law in the book. In other words, they can't access those records to find out if you're nuts without violating HIPAA law. But then again, when has that been a problem? When has it been a problem for the Obama administration to set aside laws for the sake of his politics, his policy making, or what have you? The answer is he's had absolutely no compunction in doing it. He does it every chance he gets. A person who experienced a temporary reaction to a traumatic event or who has trouble handling household finances may be well treated as the same as a violent psychopath. Not only is this unjust and stigmatizing, it creates disincentives for those who need mental health treatment to seek it, increasing whatever risks are associated with untreated medical fitness. So the president's going to try to do it again with his pen and his phone. The anti-gun Obama administration will do everything possible to annoy the gun lobby every chance they get. And what they're doing in that is attacking America. And like I said, remember a couple of weeks ago, James Madison said that those who were standing foursquare against the Second Amendment were simply traitors. You know what else? They still are. All these people spoiling to take weapons out of the hands of people to protect themselves with are simply American traitors. This is the Wells Report.
Dennis Prager believes leftism is strictly driven by agendas.
I do believe that the heart of the left is a mean heart. There are very kind people with
You're free until 11:06.
Make that clear. But leftism is heartless. It's rooted in the heart, in that it's rooted in feelings. But it doesn't cry for the true victims. It cries for agendas.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at noon, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Got an idea. How about making this the summer of you doing better in the stock market? How does that happen? First step is you show up at the New Venture on Wall Street seminars. They're June 19th and 20th in Addison and Fort Worth. Both locations taken care of, and they'll take care of you at nvows.com. nvows.com. New Venture on Wall Street. Pastor David Mitchell's operation, where he imparts wisdom, strategies, some simple things you can do. They taught me how to get in there and just do some things and not others. Timing is everything. When to buy, when to sell, what to do, what not to do. Get a second income stream, maybe retire.
4321 12345 54321. What is it from 98? Okay. State Representative District 98. Very few people made as big a splash as a freshman Texas legislator than Giovanni Capriglione. He from the Texas 96th. He from the Texas 98th showed up in Austin, Texas with an agenda and the will to use. He from the Texas 98th showed up. He from the Texas 98th Representative District showed up in Austin, Texas with an agenda and the will to use it. He made some mistakes like voting for Speaker Joe Strauss. How does he explain that? You can find out tomorrow. You can find out next time on the Wells Report. What? I know it's not the main topic. Very few freshman Texas representatives announced their presence more loudly than Giovanni Capriglione. He showed up with an agenda in Austin, Texas, and the will to use it. Did he make some mistakes? Yeah. Is he going to explain them next time we have a chance to talk to him? Yes. No. What? No, you have to put in an overview of the 84th legislation. That is the main reason why he's here. Okay. Very few people announced their presence in the Texas legislature more loudly than the Texas 98's Giovanni Capriglione. In fact, he did some things that most of us kind of raised our eyebrows about and want to ask him about. But as he shows up next time on the Wells Report to talk about the 84th, as he shows up next time to explain what happened in the Texas 84th. So as he shows up next time on the Wells Report to explain the 84th legislature, we'll ask him about a couple of those moves and whether he'd do them the same way again next time on the Wells Report. No. Mark Davis, thanks very much for this opportunity to drop by on the Hump Day version of the Wells. Mark Davis, thank you very much for allowing me to show up on the Hump Day version of the Mark Davis Show. Coming up next time on the Wells Report, a little bit later on from now, we're going to speak with Giovanni Capriglione. Here's a guy who showed up in the Texas legislature as a freshman and announced himself with authority. He did a lot of things right. He did a lot of things a lot of us raised our eyebrows about. He's going to talk about the 84th legislature and whether or not he would have done everything the same way that he did if he had a chance to redo it next time on the Wells Report. Yeah. Great. Next time on the Wells Report, we talk to a freshman. Next time on the Wells Report, we talk to a freshman Texas legislator who showed up in Austin, Texas with an agenda and the will to use it. Who is it? From the Texas 98th, Giovanni Capriglione. Yeah, he had a very active 84th legislature. We're going to talk about that and whether he'd do anything differently now that he's been through one of these bienniums. Next time on the Wells Report.
iHeartRadio, 660 AM, The Answer. You're hearing tomorrow's front page on the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells, and there's a group out there called Cure International that could sure use your help. I made a promise to you when I started talking to you on the radio airwaves every single day. I said that if I ever ask you for money, it'd be for a good cause. It'd be because people really need it. And this is another one of those opportunities. Cure International works on fixing clubfoot, a congenital deformity that severely twists the foot downward and inward, making it impossible, or at least incredibly difficult to walk. It is curable. And that's what Cure International does. They want to help the children of Haiti who suffer from this deformity by using your money to give them a shot at a beautifully formed life. Here's the way this works. There are two ways to do it. A $400 donation will completely fund the total cost of treatment for one infant. A $2,800 donation to Cure International this week only, and you will receive a free advertising campaign for your business on 660 AM The Answer. If you ask, I will gladly voice that advertising campaign. Call my dear friend Mike Krejci at 214-561-2164, 214-561-2164. Get started to support Cure International. If you want to donate money for one surgery, go to 660amtheanswer.com or call 855-216-0400. Help these kids out. You'll feel it almost immediately. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
Hi, this is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. I'd like for you to join me on my talk show this weekend. What I do is teach people how to go the natural, organic route. I stir up trouble, too, because I throw out some things that a lot of people just don't think are correct. You know what? We have a lot of experience to back up what we recommend. Have healthier gardens and more fun gardening. Join me this and every weekend.
Join Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
This is Dan Tullis, and I just called Joel Clark, one of Select Quote Insurance Services' term life agents. Hi, Mr. Tullis. Joel, how does Select Quote save you money on term life insurance? Well, buying term life insurance is all about choosing the right company. Let's say you take antidepressants or you smoke. All insurance companies are going to price that differently. We'll impartially shop all the companies we represent to find you the best price. Can you give me an example? Sure. I just got a man, 40 years old, on cholesterol medication, a $500,000 policy with a highly rated insurance company. His price, $22 a month.
Call 1-800-919-8949 and see how affordable term life insurance can be. That's 1-800-919-8949. 1-800-919-8949. Or go to selectquote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details on the example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Rembrandt Rockefeller for Solvin European Sleep Systems. If you've been mattress shopping lately, then you know the stores around here are pretty much all the same, with the same mix of brands and models, not to mention all the confusing pricing. But there's one mattress store in town that's very different. It's Solvin European Sleep Systems. Designed for deeper, more restful sleep, custom tailored for a vastly more comfortable fit with a full 10-year non-prorated warranty. Get your money's worth. European quality and components at made in America prices. Solvin European Sleep Systems, Inwood and Lovers in Dallas. Learn more at sovn.com.
Set sail with Newt Gingrich. Get aboard the Elegant Crystal Symphony for a spectacular 7-day cruise from New York to Montreal. At the same time, enjoy stimulating seminars on politics and investment. Our guests include Newt Gingrich, Mark Skousen, John Ransom, and Chris Versace. And everything's included. We set sail September 13th through the 20th. Join us for the Politics in Your Portfolio cruise. Log on to politicsandyourportfolio.com for all the details. Politicsandyourportfolio.com.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio. I'm Steve Rappaport. President Obama signs a bill restoring post-9/11 surveillance measures that expired 2 days ago.
A package of proposed changes from Majority Leader Mitch McConnell failed.
It surely undermines American security by taking one more tool from our warfighters.
Instead, most senators doing what House Republican leaders and the White House wanted, in passing the USA Freedom Act unchanged.
Fox Radio's Jared Halpern. Days after winning another term,
this mandate does not seem to be supported by everybody in the world of football.
FIFA President Sepp Blatter resigning. The Justice Department indicted several FIFA officials last week on corruption charges. The Hero on the Hudson and the big screen.
You want to try to land 101.3?
We're unable. We may end up in the Hudson.
Clint Eastwood to direct a biopic of U.S. Airways pilot Chesley Sully Sullenberger. Fox News. We report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer.
In 2002, a National Sleep Foundation poll found that 63% of women experience symptoms of insomnia at least a few nights per week. In my opinion, a major reason for insomnia is the Blue Card. It's a shopping and loyalty card, and it's free. That's right, free. No charge, nada. Next, you can receive up to 5% cash back on purchases. Most cards only offer 2% at most. No wonder girls can't sleep. With the Blue Card, you can also get shopping points that you could use for online purchases. So it's cash back and shopping points. Am I keeping you awake? If you refer the Blue Card to someone, you could even earn money on their purchases. No, I'm serious. It's true. But it gets better. If you share the Blue Card with a merchant, you could earn on the purchases of everyone who uses the Blue Card at their store, too. There's no way you're going to get any sleep until you get your own free Blue Card.
To get your free Blue Card, go to bluecardshopping.com. That's bluecardshopping.com. bluecardshopping.com.
Look, honey, this ad says we can get a new air conditioning unit for only $1,500.
That's incredible. Let's get it now.
There you go. Enjoy.
Wait, what?
You didn't think we'd install it for that price, did you?
There you go, folks. In this business, if it sounds too good to be true, well, then it probably is. I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning, and if you're tired of crazy gimmicks, give us a call. Our techs don't work on commission, and we don't do high-pressure sales. Right now, with Carrier's Cool Cash, you can save over $3,500 on a new Infinity system. Plus, you might also qualify for an additional $1,000 off from your utility provider. So call the other guys first, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437 or ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Clubfoot is a common birth defect, but here in Texas, you almost never hear about it. It's treated right away, and children grow up with little to no memory of ever having a disability. In countries like Haiti, however, it's a different story. There, clubfoot usually goes untreated, and children grow up with a permanent disability that makes it difficult and painful to walk, and nearly impossible to get an education, get married, or get a job. It doesn't have to be that way. Cure International is bringing permanent healing to babies born with clubfoot, restoring hope and a lifetime of potential. This week, we are partnering with Cure International to heal kids in Haiti. They are children born with a condition known as clubfoot. Your gift of $400 will help heal a child so they can run, dance, and play and have a chance at a normal life. Please go to our website, 660amtheanswer.com, to donate, or call 855-216-0400. That's 855-216-0400. One more time, 855-216-0400. And let's help a child today with Cure International.
Are you suffering with hearing loss? Are you sick of people constantly complaining that your TV is too loud? Are you tired of asking people to speak up? Would you like to hear more clearly, but you don't want to wear a hearing aid that makes you look old? Then you need to try Listen Clear, a life-changing breakthrough precisely designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. And you can adjust Listen Clear to find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And right now, you can try Listen Clear absolutely risk-free with free shipping. We'll even give you free batteries for life. So call now, 1-800-507-2955. Listen Clear is lightweight and completely hassle-free, and it's practically invisible. Call for your 100% risk-free home trial with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now, 1-800-507-2955. That's 1-800-507-2955. 1-800-507-2955.
Hey, when choosing a financial advisor, outstanding reputation, decades of experience, and a successful track record are very important. The good news is I have someone I would like for you to meet. Hey, Sean Hannity here for my friend Bob Guess at Texas First Financial. Now, Bob Guess is an author, a speaker, an educator who has taught at SMU and other prestigious campuses in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Now, with his experience and the help of his team, Bob's clients earn a 9% return on their investments. That's a 9% return backed 100% by hard assets and no market volatility. Now it's time you placed your investments with one of Texas Monthly's top advisors. Now I know attractive, predictable, stable returns on your investments are important to you. Call Bob and his team today at 972-570-4444. That's 972-570-4444. For 9% returns and no market risk. Now make sure you check them out yourself. Tell them Sean Hannity sent you.
Our sister station.
94.9 KLTY and Interstate Batteries present Celebrate Freedom 25. Nothing brings home the memories like the official Celebrate Freedom 25 t-shirt. Just go to CelebrateFreedom.com and find the perfect package for your family. Get the sticker, the VIP seating pass, the poster, and more.
Sponsored by Cornerstone Staffing.
It's your day. It's your fun. It's your Celebrate Freedom 25. CelebrateFreedom.com.
Dallas, Fort Worth's home for stimulating talk. 660 AM, The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. It was my fault. Yeah, I forgot to turn my microphone on. I started there for a while and just, I realized I got to turn my headphones up because I can't hear what I'm saying. I realized I hadn't turned my mic on, so. Hey, it's been a hard day. I had to get my car registered. Do you realize that I actually had to spend nearly 15 minutes at the South Lake Town Hall to get my car registered?
We're ready to believe you.
Well, that's good because I couldn't believe it either. I couldn't believe it. Still can't believe it. I walked in there, the room was empty. I'm going, really?
Why don't you save this for your Friday flame out?
I'm not going to, because it's not a complaint. It's not a complaint. I got my car, all spiffed up and cleaned up and prettified and new oil and all that kind of stuff. Then took it down to Tommy at Quick Car and on Golden Triangle and had him inspect it. Got my inspection and my smog and took my smogitator worksheet down to the South Lake Town Center and just walked right in there and spent all of 15 minutes. I literally had more time than I knew what to do with today. It was awesome. It was awesome. 866-660-5759. This doesn't have anything to do with what I'm about to talk about, but you know what's really been tough? What's really been tough about doing this show is to point out all of the unbelievably dumb moves being made by the Obama administration and people associated with the Obama administration. I was talking to one of my dear friends today as I was out and about doing things, right? Talk to your buddy on your cell phone while you're working. And he said, all you're doing basically is just showing up every night and complaining. And I go, yeah, I understand that, but what else do I do? What am I going to do? Talk about the price of Raisin Bran in Great Britain? I'm going to talk about things that matter. He was taking shots at whether or not I was talking about things that matter. I'm sitting there going, of course I'm talking about things that matter. And I explained to him that I was going to be talking about Iran tonight, and he goes, nobody cares. I'll go, excuse me? The first time a nuclear weapon explodes wearing a turban, people will begin to care. Oh, Jon-David, what are you saying about, what do you mean? Come on. Oh, come on. Here we go. With only a month left before a deadline to complete a nuclear deal with Iran, international inspectors have reported that Tehran's nuclear stockpile increased 20% over the last 18 months, partially undercutting the Obama administration's contention that the Iranian program has been frozen during that period. It hasn't been frozen during that period. Here is the very, very disturbing part of David Sanger and William Broad's article in the New York Times. Western officials and experts can't figure out why the Iranian stockpile of nuclear material increased 20% over the last 18 months. They can't figure out why Iran is doing it. Okay, let's fast forward backwards to the last time that Iran talked about Israel. The people that they want to kill, the country they want to push into the sea. Yeah, that Israel. Western officials say that one possibility is that Iran ran into technical problems that kept it from converting some of its enriched uranium into fuel rods for reactors, which would make the material essentially unusable for weapons. Poppycock. By the way, in case you're wondering, do I get to explain this little particle of nuclear physics? Do I? I guess I do. Look, these fuel rods that they're making are designed to create as much plutonium as humanly possible because plutonium is the perfect fissile material. It truly is. You can take a perfect round sphere of plutonium and hold it in your hand. But if you compress that sphere of plutonium by a factor of, I don't know, 10. If you compress that sphere, it will blow most of your town off the map. A ball of plutonium about the size of a softball. If you compress it down to about the size of a golf ball, it'll do Louisville. And you can hold it in your hand. U-235, on the other hand, you can't. It's throwing out too much radioactivity. But these fuel rods are going into reactors that will make plutonium. And as a bargain, the first nuclear weapon that Iran will make will be a uranium weapon, just like a little boy that blew the living snot out of Hiroshima. And that will do most of Israel. Another theory about why Iran increased its stockpile was to give it an edge if negotiations fail. You know what the dumb thing about all this is? You know what the dumbest thing is? These people in the State Department and the Obama administration, John the Stupid Kerry, Secretary of Snake, you know what they actually think? They actually think that Iran wants a deal. They don't want a deal. They just want to keep you blathering on while they make more uranium, where they enrich more uranium. That's what they're doing. The New York Times would say that if there was a Republican president that was engaged in trying to convince Iran not to build a nuclear weapon. But since it's a Democrat, the New York Times is sitting there going, it's the craziest thing. Western officials can't figure out what's going on. That must mean it's inscrutable. We just can't figure this out. No, what it means is you're covering the fact that these people are dopes that don't get it. Jeez. The extent to which Iran's stockpile had increased was documented in a report issued last Friday by the International Atomic Energy Agency, the IAEA. That's the United Nations organization that monitors compliance with nuclear treaties. The agency's inspectors, who have almost daily access to most of Iran's nuclear production facilities, reported finding no evidence that Iran was racing towards a nuclear weapon. No. And said that Tehran had halted work on facilities that could have given it bomb-making capabilities. The overall increase in Iran's stockpile poses a major diplomatic and political challenge for President Obama and Secretary of Snake, John the Stupid Kerry, who flew back to the United States from Geneva for treatment of a broken leg he suffered in a bicycling accident. I think he got his chin stuck in the spokes of the bike. Or apparently you can forget to how to ride a bike. Thank you. Yeah, John Kerry flew back to the U.S. from Geneva for treatment of a broken leg he suffered in a bicycling accident, just in time to enter a 30-day push to try to complete an agreement by the end of June. In essence, the administration will have to convince Congress and America's allies that Iran will shrink its increasing stockpile by 96% in a matter of months after the deal is signed. even while it continues to produce new material and has demonstrated little success in reducing its current stockpile. From the U.S. perspective, it's obviously less than ideal, said Richard M. Nephew, an Iran specialist at Columbia University, who worked at the White House and State Department. Mr. Nephew said the enlarged stockpile was not a deal breaker because Iran could find a way of solving the problem, especially if it was offered sanction relief. And then Nephew added, or I'll be a monkey's uncle. Yeah. That means Iran, which insists its nuclear weapon is for civilian purposes. That's right. It exists solely to kill Israeli citizens. It exists solely to kill Israeli civilians. Would rid itself of more than 9 tons of its stockpile in a matter of months. One easy solution would be to ship the fuel out of the country. But that's a politically fraught topic for the Iranians and one that their deputy negotiator, Abbas Araghchi, ruled out in March. There is no question of sending the stocks abroad, said Mr. Araghchi at the time. A State Department statement released a few days later outlined the preliminary agreement reached at a marathon session in Lausanne, Switzerland, and remained silent on the question of how the reduction would be realized. Here's how you reduce your stockpile of nuclear material. You keep refining it and you keep enriching it until it's bomb-grade material. And then what you do is you make a bomb and say, hey, we took care of that nasty surplus. We just turned it into a fission weapon. Great. Do you remember Marie Antoinette Harf? Marie Antoinette Harf? Marie let them eat isotopes, Harf? Yeah, you're not going to believe this. But when this came up in a press conference, she was completely clueless. Locked totally? No, you're kidding me. You mean Iran did what? We're totally perplexed. You know what the bad part about that is? She actually said that we're totally perplexed. Yeah. You know why you're totally perplexed? Because you're stupid. This is the Wells Report.
Have you ever responded to a great deal on carpet cleaning only to find yourself playing Let's Make a Deal once the crew arrived? When you made your appointment, it was all about discounts, free areas, and maybe even gift with purchase. But when the carpet cleaner arrived, it was an extra charge for this and that, and lots of pressure to buy extra things you didn't want. At Dalworth Clean, we've cleaned over 1 million homes since 1976, and there's a good reason we consistently have an A rating from the Better Business Bureau and win the Consumer's Choice Award year after year. Our focus is on making you happy, not making you spend more. So if the deal sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Call Dalworth Clean instead and find out why after almost 40 years, it's still true. The next best thing to do is Dalworth Clean. Visit Dalworth.com, get a free quote, make your appointment 24/7.
Call 267-8433 because the next best thing to do is Dalworth Clean.
The Good Contractors List is a free service designed to protect you. We meet all of our home service contractors face-to-face and feel so confident in our final choices that we back their work with a $10,000 guarantee. We go the extra mile in our interview process to make sure that the contractor is not only honest in quality, but able to offer the most affordable and fair rates. For instance, how do you pick who you call for air conditioning? Did you know that the air conditioning industry is commonly known for misdiagnosis and unneeded upselling? The higher their overhead, the more money they need to stay in business. So they flash tempting offers to get their foot in the door, and the sales game is on. The air conditioning companies we choose are simply stable and proven companies that offer the highest quality at fair and honest rates. And to protect you, they've all agreed to do an absolutely free second opinion if you're being told that you have to replace your air conditioning unit. If you need AC or any other type of home service, visit thegoodcontractorslist.com first.
Contractors List.
Okay, most of you know that I was diagnosed last year with stage 3 throat cancer. This is Michael Medved. Fortunately, I had some great advice and previously had purchased both life insurance and long-term care insurance. I'm glad I did because I wouldn't be able to buy them today. I work with Rick Nathanson, a nationally recognized expert in life insurance and long-term care insurance. I put my trust and confidence in Rick, and I'm glad that I did. Even the most uncertain times of my treatment, I had the peace of mind of knowing that the plans Rick implemented would have protected my family. Don't take a chance. Your insurance needs require the advice of someone you trust. I'm glad I relied on Rick Nathanson, and so should you. Don't let an unexpected change in your health put your family or loved ones at risk. I hope my situation can be a wake-up call for my listeners. Be prepared. Take steps to protect your family. Call Rick today at 866-742-5582. That's 866-742-5582. 866-742-5582. Or on the web at ricknathanson.com.
This is an announcement for all people who want to take a risk-free challenge to whiten their teeth in 5 minutes. By calling now, you can whiten your teeth in 5 minutes using clinically proven power swabs. This risk-free challenge is for people whose smile has been yellowed by coffee, tea, red wine, or smoking. The Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is available by responding to this advertisement. If lines are busy, try again. Because the Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is exclusive, it's not available in drugstores. Power Swabs was formulated by Dr. Martin Ginniger and whitens teeth with a patented tooth detergent and whitening agent. It's so effective, we challenge you to try it for 5 minutes to see how white your smile could be. Get it risk-free. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037. Transform your smile into a wow, you look great smile. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037.
Are you cruising through the early months of 2015, but there's just something tugging at you, something tugging at your brain? You're losing some sleep. There's a house you cannot sell. Maybe it's the house you're living in because there's another house you got your eye on. You got to sell this one, and it's just not selling. You need help, and you need help today. Josh DeShong is that help. He helped me. He sold my house, and man, did I need him to. And it needed to be at the price I wanted, and it was. The Josh DeShong promise is as follows. He will sit with you and set up a time frame and a price agreed upon with you. And if the house does not sell in that time frame at that price, Josh DeShong will buy your house from you. It will get sold. That's why the website is getsold.net. Getsold.net. The Josh DeShong home selling team at Keller Williams is on the case right now. Get them on your case. Get them on your house. He will sell that house. Marketing like nobody else does. Energy like nobody else has. 972-325-6644. 972-325-6644 or getsold.net.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. Isn't thinking so much more fun than getting yelled at? The Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Yeah, several officials of the Obama administration, speaking on condition of anonymity, said that the Iranians understood their final agreement would, in their final agreement, they would commit to giving up almost all of their fuel and maintaining a small stockpile for 15 years. How are they going to do it? One senior American official said recently when asked about the negotiations, details of which Mr. Kerry and his team are trying to keep confidential. Well, there's that confidential word again. We're not certain. It's their problem, not ours, but it is a problem. They're not going to get rid of it. It's not a problem. They're not going to do anything about it. Whoops. Yeah, we got too much. Yeah, that's the way it goes. Yeah, we got too much. Sorry. Seriously now. If you're Iran, okay, what are you doing right this minute? Well, yeah, aside from laughing, what are you doing right this minute? Here's what you're doing right this minute. You're working as hard as you possibly can to finish up a couple of nuclear warheads. Remember this. This is the second day of June, okay? Second day of June. I said this on the air, the second day of June, year of our Lord 2015. What is Iran's most important and pressing agenda item? They have to develop a couple of nuclear weapons right now. And you're saying, why is now so important? Are you listening? Here's why this is so important. Because the Obama administration won't do jack diddly about an Iranian nuclear weapon. What do you think a Republican president would do? If President Obama was a Republican, he would react. But since he's a Democrat, he won't. And since what will happen is that Iran will make itself this great big fat target that has nuclear weapons, a Republican president following on from President Obama won't do anything about it. So the objective is to build a warhead right now. Keep the Americans talking, saying anything. Just say anything. Do whatever you have to do to keep the Americans talking. This is the only chance they have. It's the only chance they have. All right. And the card is laid upon the table. Sometime before President Obama leaves office, Iran will have a nuclear weapon. What's President Obama going to do about it? Draw another red line? I don't think so. I think he'll just try to ignore it and hope that the mainstream media goes along with trying to ignore it. That is until Israel blots out Tehran with a light brighter than the sun. Wow. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer. Back with more in just a moment.
This is Albert Mohler for townhall.com. The nation of Ireland recently became the very first on the planet to legalize same-sex marriage by a vote of the people, a referendum. As the Associated Press reported, quote, Ireland citizens have voted in a landslide to legalize gay marriage, a stunningly lopsided result that illustrates what Catholic leaders and rights activists alike have called a social revolution, end quote. More fundamentally, it's a worldview revolution and a moral revolution. According to The Economist of London, we should note, 84% of the population regard themselves in Ireland as Catholic. Moreover, 71% of Irish young people voted for same-sex marriage. As Catholic leaders have pointed out, they were educated in Catholic schools. The big lesson for all of us is this: if we fail to teach our young people the truth about marriage, we shouldn't be surprised when one way or another they make very clear they're confused about what marriage is. There's a big lesson for all of us here. I'm Albert Mohler.
If you're turning on the AC for the warm days of spring and it's just not working or not cooling the way it should, time to call Walker Air Conditioning. Hey, Mark Davis. My friends at Walker are a family business, but big enough to cover North Texas with reliable, honorable service for your AC units. No commission salesmen showing up. They're technicians sent to fix your problem at an affordable price. Oh, if it's time for a new unit, they've got all the best brands at all the best prices. But let Walker AC see what you need first with techs who know what they're doing from a company you can trust. 52 years in the business, stellar customer reviews, A+ from the Better Business Bureau, specialists in AC and refrigeration for homes and business. Got a wine cellar, a wine fridge? They'll fix yours or install a new one. Walker AC, making sure you are cool and comfortable. Walker Air Conditioning. Website is walkerac.com. That's walkerac.com. Phone number is 972-4-WALKER. 972, the number 4, Walker. walkerac.com.
How are we supposed to balance the budget when our appliances keep breaking down? Last month, it was the air conditioner. Before that, the refrigerator. What's it going to be next month?
It's hard enough these days trying to keep a balanced household budget. It's even harder when a home appliance or system breaks down unexpectedly. The repair bill could set you back months. But buying a home warranty from American Home Shield helps protect your budget against those unexpected costs because they help pay covered repairs for you. Your air conditioner, plumbing, oven, refrigerator, water heater, and more. For helpful free information, go to ahs.com or call 1-800-322-4147. Service requests are subject to a fee for each trade call. Some exclusions and limitations apply. The truth is, home appliances and systems do break down. So why not get a home warranty and let American Home Shield help pay covered repair bills for you? For helpful free information, including terms, rates, and coverage, go to ahs.com. That's ahs.com. Or call 1-800-322-4147.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Got an idea. How about making this the summer of you doing better in the stock market? How does that happen? First step is you show up at the New Venture on Wall Street seminars. They're June 19th and 20th in Addison and Fort Worth. Both locations taken care of, and they'll take care of you at nvows.com. nvows.com. New Venture on Wall Street. Pastor David Mitchell's operation, where he imparts wisdom, strategies, some simple things you can do. They taught me how to get in there and just do some things and not others. Timing is everything. When to buy, when to sell, what to do, what not to do. Get a second income stream, maybe retire earlier. It is fantastic wisdom. The seminars are great. They're fun. They're upbeat. And they're coming up June 19th and 20th in Addison and in Fort Worth. Following weekend in Tyler. To get all the information you need, go to 877-907-TRADE. 877-907-TRADE. nvows.com. New Venture on Wall Street. Do better in the stock market this summer and for the rest of your life. nvows.com. 877-907-TRADE.
People who can afford a LASIK procedure sure are lucky. Imagine being able to throw away your contacts and glasses. Imagine waking up tomorrow with 20/20 vision. Too bad everyone can't afford LASIK. Well, guess what? There's a company that agrees with you. The LASIK Vision Institute is now offering dramatically low prices on high-quality LASIK to make it affordable for everyone. That means you get the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology for a fraction of what others charge. And if you call right now, we'll schedule a free appointment so you can discover if LASIK is right for you. Results may vary. Call 1-800-700-2629. Even better, if you're one of the first 100 callers, ask about an extra 20% discount off our already low-cost services. We've already performed over 1 million procedures. Let us help you. Discover how you can get the quality LASIK experience you deserve at a fraction of what others charge. For your free appointment, call 1-800-700-2629. 1-800-700-2629.
Listen to us live on iHeartRadio, 660 AM, The Answer. Now, the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Mark Davis is going to show up tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I think you should listen to what he has to say. Why? Well, because here's a small capsule of what he has to say.
Good Tuesday evening, JD. Listen, what's everybody's big issue as we examine the 2016 presidential field? The economy, fighting terror, honoring the Constitution. All of that is vital, of course. But if you think immigration isn't getting enough play, here comes Ann Coulter with her new book, Adios, America. She'll be with us 8:05 a.m. tomorrow. On the Wednesday show, also a chat with Congressman Jeb Henserling on things going on in Congress and any overnight news we can tackle, all between 7 and 10 tomorrow morning. Mark Davis Show right here on 660 AM The Answer.
I forgot to talk about Marie Antoinette Harf. Thanks, Mark. I forgot to talk about Marie Antoinette Harf. She is the State Department spokesperson. She said she was perplexed by a New York Times story on today's newspaper that Iran's 20% increase in nuclear fuel over the past 18 months. What the hell? The United States has been in negotiations with Iran for a final deal about their nuclear program. The International Atomic Energy Agency issued a report on Friday that documented an increase in Iran's nuclear fuel stockpile. A reporter asked Harf if Iran's increased stockpiles had complicated the current negotiations. She goes, "Oh, not at all. Our team reads the story this morning. We're quite frankly perplexed. because the main contentions of it are totally inaccurate. Excuse me, Ms. Harf. Y'all? You're saying that the contentions of the New York Times article are inaccurate? Oh, yeah, sure. Uh-huh. You know, they come from the IAEA, right? Well, yes, of course. Uh-huh. So the only time the IAEA is correct is when they come up with something that agrees with the Obama administration's agenda? Well, sure. Oh, well, wait. No, wait. Don't quote me on that one, okay? They're perplexed that the stockpile of nuclear material would actually get bigger. Yeah, hard to believe. First, the notion that the story that Western officials or U.S. officials involved were unaware of this issue or not understanding of what this entails is just absurd. Under the JPOA, the Joint Plan of Action, Iran can fluctuate its numbers in terms of their stockpile. They can go up and down as long as at the end of the fixed date, they're back down below a number. Ah, Marie Antoinette Harf, you pinhead. Oh, golly. People ask me if I'm going to miss President Obama. Not in the least. But I am going to miss the abject comedy that the people, the peripheral people to the administration injected into America's experience. It's like, how are we going to replace Marie Antoinette Harf? We're totally perplexed that their stockpile would get bigger. We can't figure it out. But the deal itself says it can get bigger. It can fluctuate. Wait, now which is it? Either you're perplexed that it increased or you're not perplexed that it increased because you understand that it could increase. You caught me there. Jeez. Josh Earnest said at a White House briefing, so what we also know is that Iran has decided to engage in a set of serious negotiations that previously Iran had just used diplomatic negotiations as a cover to try to make progress on their nuclear program. But we're too smart for that, huh, Josh? But in the context of these talks, we've actually succeeded in not just halting Iran's progress as it relates to their nuclear program, but actually rolling it back in several key areas, none of which includes the size of their stockpile. Uh-huh. Wow. Jeez. What are these people going to do after they leave federal service? They're going to become cartoon characters in comic books? Is that what they're going to do? So we're still engaged in negotiating with a group of people that are, and they even say it. Josh Earnest, well, they used to do this as a kind of a cover to try to expand their nuclear weapons program. So in other words, it's already well known that the Iranians use negotiating as a way to stretch the time so that they can make more nuclear material. Well, yes, that's what I said. Uh-huh. So we don't know anything about this, but we do understand everything there is to understand about it, which is different than actually knowing it. Should you let one of your children be eaten by a wolf? 866-660-5759. Should you let one of your children be eaten by a wolf? No? Well, what if you're living in that protected federal reserve for wolves in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan? Then do you have to allow the lions to eat one of your kids? So here's what's going on. So stupid. What they've done is that they put gray wolves on the Endangered Species Act. Gray wolves are now protected, which means that if you live in any of the western states virtually, but more specifically Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan, it means that you have a pretty good chance of being able to run across a wolf that wants to eat you or part of your property. Many say that the gray wolf's recovery in the Great Lakes region is one of the Endangered Species Act's actual success stories. True. But to those on the front lines of the wolf's range, the so-called model program in December became a model of judicial overreach. Try to put yourself in a farmer's shoes. A farmer like Miles Kushel. Miles, the other day, happened to notice that there were 6 wolves on his property, looking at one of the calves in his cow herd and licking their chops. Sure as hell, he shows up, they've eaten one of the calves. He wanted to shoot them, but you don't get to shoot them because they're protected. You could be watching your pasture. You could see a wolf killing your cattle, which is like somebody watching. It is like somebody at the ATM watching you take out money and then essentially just grab it from you. You can't do anything about it. The state agency has a backlog of more than $50,000 in compensation claims due state farmers who lost livestock to wolves. After 3 years of state management, the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia in December made what's viewed as a lone wolf decision. Nice pun there. Gray wolves returned to federal protection in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan the 3rd time since 2003. Federal courts have rejected a U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service plan to delist the predator in the Great Lakes region. Okay. So here's the thing. You're running a ranch. You got some cattle. You got to figure out what you're going to do with the wolves. What do? If you shoot one of them, you're going to jail. Even though there are plenty of them now, they don't need protection on the endangered species list. So do you just have to accept a certain amount of loss in your herd? You know, calves are expensive. Depending on what kind of calf we're talking about, it could be as much as, I don't know, a few $1,000s. So you've got your 270 out there. Do you just let the wolf eat one of your cattle? Or do you just shoot him and hope you don't get caught? What do? We have very similar problems here in Texas. Coyotes. Coyotes. As a matter of fact, there's one in my neighborhood. Now, what I've noticed is that I have noticed that ranchers shoot coyotes at their earliest and quickest opportunity. Shoot them with malice. Nobody seems to be complaining about killing coyotes. But the federal government, Federal Fish and Wildlife, will take you to jail if you shoot one of these wolves. So help me out. Is all of this gobbledygooky and foolishness that you're invading their territory, not the other way around, essentially exceeding dominance over the beasts in an effort to erode the Bible and its impact in America? Yeah, I look at this and I go, okay, so here's the situation. You gotta make this determination. The Bible in Genesis gave us dominion over the animals. And now what we're trying to do is we're trying to make animals an equal partner in your ranching. The coyotes in your property. Yeah, you got to keep from killing them. Even though they're killing your stock, you got to keep from killing them. Uh-huh. Thanks. Thanks so much. So do you ignore them and just shoot them? The point of the matter is that I've seen this before. Remember that story I told you guys about the guy in Florida who noticed that his dog went missing one day? Didn't know what happened to his dog? And then he was washing the dishes, happened to be looking out the backyard to see his little girl running across the backyard screaming, being chased by an 8-foot alligator. He got his .38, he went out there, shot the alligator in the head, and then was arrested by Florida Fish and Wildlife and taken to jail. We got him out of jail, but it wasn't easy. I had to shame the Florida Fish and Wildlife. I don't think they like me much there. But when do you protect your land? When do you protect your livestock? I don't know anything about ranching. But what do? Do you just accept that the wolves are going to eat a few of your cattle? That your $1,500 investment is probably going to get eaten by a dog? A very big, capable, angry dog? How is it that we live in a country with a government that puts animals ahead of people? Why do we do that? The gray wolves were dang near extinct. And we fixed it, right? Yeah, we fixed it. Good. Take them off the endangered species list so that the guys in Michigan and Wisconsin can shoot these things, like Miles Kushel can shoot one of these guys before it eats one of his very expensive cattle. How about that? You're listening to the Wells Report.
Sean Hannity wants to know where the protesters are now.
The headline on Baltimore CBS News website today is 29 shootings, 9 fatal over Memorial Day weekend. You know the names of one of those people? I doubt it. So my question is, where are all the people that were upset about Freddie Gray? Where are all the people that were upset about Michael Brown?
The Sean Hannity Show, afternoons at 2, right before Michael Medved at 5 on 660 AM. The Answer.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
When our daughter Emma was born, we took a look at our credit card debt. It was not a good situation. We had been running up balances for quite some time, and it became a crisis. Finally, my wife Vicki said, call Trinity.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-69.